If I thought that no one cared about the things I do in life, well, I'd still care about working hard and making it turn out right. Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
At Anheuser-Busch, it's the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family's beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Somebody still cares about quality.
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay. Love ya. Okay, break a leg.
Why don't you go home and cry to your granny? Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
I have a question. I have two questions.
I have so many questions.
Why are we on the wrong side? That's
Why are we on the wrong side again?
You just want to keep you on your toes.
There we go.
So
do you feel better now?
We watched Dolvin Moavini or whatever is what's his name?
Sure.
The dude.
Yeah.
The Bud Light dude.
Take 2 sips of beer and not swallow.
Interesting.
Did he spit it out? What do you mean he took 2 sips and did not swallow?
How do you know he didn't swallow?
He did, or she did, whatever you want to call it.
He still got a penis.
Did the very, and so I hear, whatever sport it is.
Oh, I gotcha.
Did he even open the beer?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Sits
Yeah.
there and
Maybe
plays
not.
with it. But did the very movie, Hollywood, I'm just going to put this up there and then just pretend like I took a drink, but I can talk immediately afterwards and not have to
Take a drink.
swallow anything. So
Well,
I'm not making any references
really
about
good at
swallowing,
I
but
was
I'm
just
just
gonna say,
saying that I
this is
noticed.
This is a slippery slope.
I noticed there was a thing that
all
said any
starts this
questions,
way.
and I was like, I got one.
I
got one.
If, one of these days we have to have a behind the scenes camera because the look on Lindsay's face while that was playing is always priceless. 'Cause she doesn't get to see this shit before.
No, I don't see this
so
before.
did you not?
I don't get the show
do you have
notes.
the one from? Why don't you get the show notes?
Because I actually have to work.
The producers don't forward them to you.
No, the producer doesn't do anything for me. I work until it's dinner time, and then I
Nothing.
come back. I don't
The
get to see the show
producer.
notes.
I heard the producer does nothing.
I feel a little hurt. I feel a little hurt right now.
The producer does not let me do anything.
So,
Now I
You want to
forgot
know
what it
what? I'm going to produce a show. Just wait.
you're gonna sit over here next week.
is. You're going to produce
No,
this
it's not going
show?
to be next week. You want me to produce a show?
Or are you going to produce a show?
I'm produce a show.
Oh, okay.
This show and episode be Claire.
Oh, that
An
would be
episode
That would
of
be
this show.
awesome.
I'm going to be in charge of it.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
We
to
may
see
or
it.
may not ever be anywhere ever again.
Will we still?
You'll be
sit
kicked
here
off of every channel.
At
Every-
6 minutes after the hour, we'll be still sitting there going, waiting for CTC to connect.
Waiting for streaming.
It's going to come on and be like,
We're sorry, folks. This show's been canceled.
and you just get the lines, me.
Yeah.
Funny. All right, let's
not
get
funny.
started.
Are we getting started?
So
Yes,
are we
we
starting
are.
or are we going to questions back from the beginning? Because I have questions.
I think everyone's
She has
got
questions.
questions.
I think a lot of people have questions. Well, let's do our sponsorship first.
Okay.
Quick shout out to our sponsor,
Yes.
Americano Ammunition Coffee, right here in Queen
So
Creek.
good. Some people may have 2 bags to go with them to another state.
We are
Yes,
taking,
we are excited about that. Thank you so
and you
much.
can order it and they'll ship it to you.
but we have 2 bags that we're taking with us.
Yes.
Awesome.
And Andrea and Arthur did not take their bag. We realized that after.
Oh,
Oh, they'll have to come back for it.
or they can.
Shucks.
Darn.
Damn it.
Ooh, I should have brought that stuff up that I don't know if they didn't take it home, did they?
What?
That whiskey we were drinking. Or did they take it home? I don't remember.
I don't think they did. I don't know. I don't remember.
Andrea and
Actually-
Arthur, did you take it home or is it downstairs? Because I'll go get it. John might like it.
Poor timing. So we should have actually taken some pictures from last weekend.
We do have some pictures from last weekend.
From last
I mean,
weekend.
I didn't take any, but Andrea
From
got some
Saturday.
really good ones.
We have
had
pictures,
Andrea got some really good ones.
Yeah, Andrea got some
She's
good
got some
correction.
good ones.
Correction, we should have given some pictures to Keith.
That's true.
Oh.
Andrew sent it to me. I didn't put them up.
Oh, okay.
They came out really good.
Plus, we could have also had the picture of Lindsay.
There may or may not be a video
When she
of
was
me
looking at
doing.
the Dulvin
There may or may not be a video of me
Mulvaney
doing something silly that Andrea has. Please don't post that.
What?
Oh, that's the fun part. Come on.
What did
Where's
I
your
say?
sense of adventure?
I don't remember what I said.
I don't
But
think
she was
she-
like, I got
So
that
for
on
anybody
video. And
that
I was like,
doesn't
oh,
know-
that's awesome.
I know I found one of her videos on my phone. She must have forwarded it, and I looked at it, and it was cool because she's just panning the background,
Yep.
you know, the backyard, and a little bit of
Everybody.
a little bit of everybody, and Kenny Chesney's playing in the background.
Oh,
and-
cool.
Yeah, it was a cool
Oh,
video.
that's sweet. Yeah,
So
she
we
did a
had
bunch of
a
good stuff.
we had a going
I love
away
it.
party last Saturday night,
Yes.
or Saturday afternoon, I guess.
Blood over in tonight.
Saturday.
So we had a good turnout. Some beverages were had, some games.
That pineapple-y jalapeno thing that Allison made was delicious.
Oh, I didn't even have that. Now I feel like
Oh,
I
me
missed
and
out.
got
Andrea
gypped.
drank like almost the whole bottle.
Did you?
Yeah, because it was just like a little water bottle kind of bottle. Like it was a glass bottle. It was so good. It was pineapple habanero or something.
Well, she
or
sent
other.
me. She sent me how to make it, so
Oh, good.
I can forward that on to you.
So good.
And Wendy made some. You made a couple different things. She made some raspberry something or other.
Oh, the raspberry, the lemonade with the raspberry vodka in it,
That was good.
and then just regular lemonade and tea that you can put.
I know.
I was surprised the peach vodka was a full. Oh, Dawn's on.
Hey, Dawn, I was just putting her
Awesome. Hey,
comment out.
Dawn.
She's like finally able to see this, and now you guys are leaving. Good job.
She's one of my BFFs from
I know I've heard the name.
up from Indiana.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the ones
there
you
we
go to
go. A
see so you
stout
can get your
barrel
hair
whiskey.
done.
Huh?
One of the ones you go to see so you can get your hair did.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so they did take
Yeah,
it.
we stay with her.
They did
so,
have it. Okay.
Yeah.
We could post it on Facebook.
No! Don't. I'll send it to you, Christine. Shh. I said something inappropriate.
Hey, Wanda was able to
Hi,
jump
Miss
on. Hey,
Wanda.
Wanda. How you doing?
You said something
I
inappropriate.
know. I never say that.
You know?
Really?
Hey, Mom.
Well,
I was
So for
unaware.
those-
Appropriate.
so
all
for those
the
that-
time.
so also for those that don't know, because nobody knows. So we had.
We're all.
So Dan and Kathy were just over here at Keith and Lindsay's earlier, and so what? Good hour ago, Lindsay was on a tear, and Dan literally looked at her and goes, "Really? You're already dropping f-bombs?" She's like, "Okay, kidding me? I've been doing it all day."
All day. Gosh, people have been particularly stupid today.
That's one of those days.
All right.
All right.
Should we get into memes?
Yeah, let's get into
Yes.
memes. We'll do questions later. How's
Okay.
that
I
sound?
like the Mexican hat when I'm excited.
Oh, wait. We do have questions?
Possibly.
One day I was born, and everything bothered me. And that brings us up today. Yep, yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Right?
The story of some people's
Bought a
life,
car
yeah.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let a mentally disturbed 0.5% of our entire population have 100% of their way just because they say so. Mental illness should not be rewarded.
100%.
Yep.
Can't stress that enough. Tired of the silent majority.
Why
getting
does
run
that
over.
just disturb me so much?
So, Lindsay, I thought of both you actually, but I know my dog loves me. But if I had a squeaker in me, he would just gut me like a fish.
So true. That is so true.
You know,
Bill would.
Bill
do
would
Bill, yeah.
gut
Yes.
you in a second
Done.
for that.
And then she'd be like, "Mom, I got it.
Yeah, she would.
You're good now. I got it." So I'm bleeding everywhere.
Here you go,
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Mexican word. Oh, this is Mexican word of the day. Butternuts. She told me she was a woman. Butternuts told me different.
Awesome.
I almost spit beer.
All right, male athletes when they're terrible at sports. Trans mode.
Too
That
soon?
is just so wrong.
You're not
on so
supposed to be
many
able to turn
levels.
your transmission on. That's a terrible button.
I read this last night. I had to share it. I thought it was funny.
Oh, this is the best.
So warning
thing
about eBay.
ever.
Be careful what you buy on eBay. If you buy stuff online, check out the seller carefully. A friend just spent $95 plus postage on a penis enlarger. Bastard sent him a magnifying glass. The only instructions said, do not use in the sunlight.
Keith sends that to me, and I'm like, does the very end say, but I could be that friend?
I thought that was funny.
I like that one.
So testicular injuries among female athletes.
Oh, my
Right.
God.
Sudden spike in 2022.
Right.
Oh, boy.
We need a Lindsay cam.
I don't
We,
even know how to
All right,
respond.
so-
our society is fucked.
All right,
Right.
Wendy, read this.
I saw this a while ago. This is funny.
Okay, so naked running. Apparently, this means running without GPS, music, and any other tech. I wish I knew this an hour ago.
Should we tell Brian about that?
You can,
he runs a lot.
you can picture that one, can't
Is that
Oh, yeah,
why
no,
some of the
yeah,
neighbors were
yeah.
like, "Oh, when are you guys going?"
Do you know
All right.
there's naked pickleball?
All right.
Do you know what pickleball is?
we talked
Yes.
about this before.
It's like the badminton stuff.
Right.
Well, people play it naked.
Why?
Get out.
Swear to
right?
God.
Why?
The tournament place up the road has naked pickleball.
Please tell me this
Oh, you can
doesn't
go watch.
happen as no.
It's an
No.
inside sport. They do it
No.
on inside.
No. All right.
I'd be afraid
all
of
right,
being-
I gotta tell.
I really
the
don't
wrong
need
ball.
I don't really need a titty whacked while you're trying
All
to
right.
like whack the thing. That would be terrible.
Or some guy's junk getting
yeah,
whacked?
like
This is one of my
So sorry.
favorite. I was there in the Navy stories.
'Kay.
It's silly.
Should I be
totally,
drinking or no?
totally silly? It's just totally no. Don't.
Don't
It's
drink.
totally silly. So we're on a pilot trainer, which means that we're just basically we got a new pilot and we're just out there
chilling.
just flying around. So the pilot, you know, he's a Lieutenant JG in the Navy, and so he jumps on the airplane and he goes, "So, where can we go?" And the instructor pilot says, "We can go anywhere we want." So he goes, "Well, I've heard that the best place to go flying is actually the south side of Maui." He goes, "Oh, you want to go fly over the nudist camp? Okay, or the nudist,
Sure,
the
let's
nudist
go.
beach, nudist beach." And we're like, "Yeah, okay." Everybody wants to do it, right?
Everybody's
So
gotta do it once,
So we're gonna
sure.
go fly over the nudist beach, and so we're sitting there and we're flying over to Maui, and then we tell Control that we're gonna drop below radar. And Control's like, "All right, cool, have fun." And so they know, right?
They know. Everybody's got to do it once.
And so we go flying over the beach at maybe 1,000 feet, which is low. And so, you know, the newbie pilot, we'll call him, is sitting there looking out the window and goes, it's still kind of high. And so the engineer, and we're in a C-130. Engineer goes, "Well, you do know, sir, that this plane is not marked." So we may or may not have circled around and went over at about 500 feet. Now I am in the back. God, I love the Navy. I'm in the back, and I've got this newbie. So on a C-130, you have what they call an observer. So there has to be somebody in the back. Typically, on a normal C-130, it's the load master, so the person that shoves things out the back of this and stuff like that. So, but on our planes, they're called an observer. And so I've got this newbie observer, and she's some little like 18-year-old girl from Kentucky. And so all of a sudden, I'm sitting there on headset, and I'm looking out this window, and I'm looking at the beach as we're going over at 500 feet. And all of a sudden, you hear this female Kentucky voice go, "Oh, yep. He's naked."
That's cute because she doesn't know, so she's like, "What are you doing?" And she's looking at the beach, and she's like, "Yep, he's naked."
That is just burned into my mind.
Yeah,
That
right?
is
There are
That
some
is
things you
so
can't
cute.
unsee.
God, that's funny.
Oh my goodness!
my
Because she didn't
gosh.
know, so she's
She
looking
didn't know
all-
she's looking too.
Yeah, what's out there? Oh yeah.
Yep. It's a good thing we're this far up.
He's naked.
It's just
As
like
the
a
boys-
speck.
As the boys are like, "Oh, get closer, get closer."
Yeah, get closer.
Come on, it's a speck. How much can you
How much
see?
can I see?
All right, so Wendy,
That's
you're gonna
funny.
read the gray. Dad, there's a moth outside the bathroom door. Can you get rid of it? Please hurry because I'm going to cry. Dad.
Dad is dead. You're next. Love Moth.
Oh my God, that's the best. And you know, she was like,
Next time you think of eating chicken, remember that they had a family too. Now this is from PETA.
"This is the best thing ever."
This is from PETA. And then I love the response. This is why I order a family bucket at KFC. No one is left behind.
I read that to Keith and was cracking up.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
No one is left behind.
When you realize that they took a black woman off a syrup
real-
bottle and put a fake
Right, whoa,
white
whoa,
woman
back
on a
up.
beer cans.
A real black woman.
Real black woman
real
off
one.
a syrup bottle and put a fake white woman on a beer can.
Yeah. That should make you go,
Little food for thought there, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all the meat.
It doesn't
a
have
real
to. It
white
doesn't have to make
man-
sense.
a real white man. We
It
could.
doesn't have to make sense, does it?
Our society these days does not make sense at all.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
That's just
Wasn't
my
there
opinion.
a meme that I sent you that something about it could wipe society off the map, and somebody goes, "Well, that actually." Oh no, that was after
let's
I
start
said
over.
that was what.
I think B-Max on Rumble.
Get
What?
out.
Get out. B-Max on?
B-Mac 59.
Oh, look at that.
That sounds pretty much like somebody I know.
Very well be.
Mr.
I might
Mr.
have to
Brian
get on
McCormick.
Rumble too.
Okay.
John, what do you get off Rumble?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So before we get into the news, I want to talk about something real quick.
Oh, here we
I mean,
go.
I want to talk about a lot of things, but what do we? Oh, yeah, he's all upset about
It's kind of
this.
near and dear to my heart, just because. it
Did
has
Wanda
to-
just leave? I hope Wanda didn't leave.
I don't think she did. No.
I think she said she did.
No, she said she was on because it was her day off.
Oh, okay.
So,
She's riled up about this too.
so the New York State Board of Regents just voted on this, and they passed it unanimously. So the New York State School Districts learned Tuesday that they have no choice, calling it long overdue. The use of Native American mascots, team names, and logos in public schools is now banned. Per the New York Board of Regents, the vote was unanimous.
Who is the New York Board of Regents? What are you?
The Board of Regents.
Sounds like the Board of Rejects, but I mean, I don't know what that has to do with schools.
Well, so if anybody's not from New York, my school, well, Long Island's very Native American. Okay, a lot of history there for Native American. And a lot of the schools are named, a lot of the towns are named with Native American names. So our school in particular, our school district is called Sachem. And Sachem, actually, I learned, stands for chief in the Native American language. So this little story that one of the guys I went to the school wrote, which I thought was interesting. The Sachem logo was developed to honor Native American heritage and culture. It was meant to provide an identity for our Sachem community, which was centralized in 1955. It stands to represent 60,000 alumni who bleed red, black, and gold, and it should stand to inspire the next generation of students and faculty who will be proud of representing Sachem. And the thing is all the schools in the Sachem district are named American Indian names. Mm-hmm. So now they've got to go through, according to this, by the end of 2024, 25, and
rename everything.
Rename everything. They have to do uniforms, any
Think about
logos
your
that are in the
basketball
gyms.
court
Yeah,
has the
everything.
wood that's like inlaid in the logo.
My question is
Walls
why?
are painted.
Why are we doing this?
So that's a good question, and I think my response would be: has anyone asked any of the
No.
Native Americans
No.
to say,
Well, apparently they did.
does this offend you?
Well, if you read the article, one of the chiefs from one of the tribes, I read it real quick, but he was saying that it is detrimental emotionally and medically to young
To
children.
the children of this tribe.
And I don't understand. I mean,
Because
to
we're
me,
paying you tribute, because we're...
You know what? If they're in this,
I mean, you can find any whack job anywhere. But.
right? This
That's-
is where I
that's-
would draw the
yeah.
line. If it's someone that's not of that particular culture saying, "Oh no, this is racist and whatever,"
But one person out of that
doesn't
culture
give
is the same.
that doesn't give a lot of merit.
Yeah.
But if you're asking that particular culture,
The whole community.
does this offend you? And the majority says
Yes.
no
Or no.
or yes, right, exactly. Then
Then you can think about it.
right. Well, and that gives you some legitimate feedback.
yeah.
But if you're just taking the words of some people that
Of
are
one person who's screaming loudest.
right.
But
And
again, where's that money coming from? So you have these
Well-
public schools
Well-
that now have hundreds of thousands of dollars each school. Where's that money coming from
Where do
in
you
the
think
next
it
2
came from?
years?
well, I
They
think
already have the money in hand. Where do you think it came from?
Oh,
No.
they printed it. It's
No.
fake.
No, it's real money. Where do you think they got it from?
Oh, Biden.
from the
Where
government.
specifically? What fund did it come from?
Rona.
Right.
The schools didn't get anything in Rona, though.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't read it. I don't know.
Yeah, schools got a bunch of COVID money.
Oh, nice. Well, that was for like equipment and stuff, for sending all the kids home with laptops and everything like that. That's not still going on. They got it already.
Do you think they spent it all?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they
No,
did
yeah.
not.
They didn't.
They did not.
Oh, God, yeah.
The government didn't spend it all.
No, the schools did.
The government did not spend all of it.
The schools
back,
did.
Go back and look. The government did not spend all of the COVID relief money.
True.
Good, give it back because
So the
it's
government-
non-existent money already.
No, the government never gives back.
Make it round me up.
Arthur, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
That is totally my opinion.
And that's who they should be asking.
And
Not
that's why-
just
So the
who is coming up with this is offensive.
Some dude,
ask
the
per-
one who screams loudest.
because
ask
it's
the
virtue
people
signaling.
in as a whole,
Yeah.
and you take the majority and
Then
you go with it. Yeah.
Explain
Because
that,
they're
virtue signaling.
they're virtue signaling to the people that they think like them. Because up until now, school boards, ironically, and I've said this before, right? I didn't think too much about a handful of years ago where they used to say it all starts small. And I understood that it all starts small with like small town governments and county governments and things like that. But I didn't realize that it started smaller, that it started with your school boards and your fire protection district boards and your, whatever.
It's that simple.
And so it's that simple. And so literally your school boards now was something that people were doing. And I never quite understood at the time why there were people that were on school boards that their kids were no longer in the school district.
So I can be on the school board?
Anybody can be on the school board. Anybody can.
I'm already
and at the
taking over
time,
the
I used to
HOA,
question that
baby.
and going, so this doesn't make any sense. Why is it that somebody who has no vested interest in today's school,
Would
their
be
kids
here.
have already are grown and married and moved on, and it's like, are you doing it for your grandkids? Your grandkids may not even be in this district. They might
Right.
be
Or even born
states
yet.
away. And I'm sitting there and I didn't understand it at the time, but now you look back at it and you go, oh, these are people that are actually trying to shape the country, trying to shape the narrative, trying
But-
to shape the way the schools teach people because they want the schools to teach the way they believe.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate on that because I have a friend who back in Beecher, her dad was on the school board forever. And once all four kids were out of school, he remained on the school board because nobody else was stepping up.
And there, yeah, I mean, and there's
Nobody
always-
else was
Exactly.
stepping up. So, I mean, it was just a kind of a way of life for him because
And
he
he's already
had,
used to it after all the kids.
I mean, there's always
that's
an
the thing.
exception.
He had been on the school board forever. They had 4 kids,
Yeah.
and he had been on the school board for a long, long
Yeah, it's
time.
probably sticky.
Nobody else was stepping up, so he continued to be on the school board, and he was older, obviously my parents' age, so, wanted to keep those old values still intact.
Don't spell it. Well, and that is, so Brian says that they changed Squaw Valley Ski Resort in Tahoe, where the 1960 Winter Olympics were, to Palisades?
He was telling us that. Yeah, he was
Palisades?
telling us that.
Because the name was offensive.
But here's my question, okay?
It's empty.
It's sticky.
So
Yeah, I think it is empty.
probably.
I finally realized when I was trying to use my shirt, I'm like, oh, I think this thing is actually empty.
So they
Yeah,
came
I
up with
think
the
it is.
name. They came up with this name in
close,
1955. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It took them this long for somebody to get offended.
Because they're virtue signaling.
Because they're screaming now.
Right.
That's all it is, because nobody's complaining about it.
No.
Right.
So it happened in Chicago for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep.
And so the Blackhawks, I give them credit because they went to the Blackhawk Nation.
Exactly.
And said-
Ask the
and-
people
and
who
not
you
just
say
once.
it's offending.
Not just
Yes.
once, multiple times. Every
Yeah.
time it came up, they went back to the Blackhawk Nation.
You guys still good?
Yeah, everybody got it. Everybody cool with this? Anybody got a problem with it? Please, let us
Yeah.
know if you got a problem. Nope, everybody's cool. All right,
Bye.
cool.
And they did it the right way. Ask the people that is supposedly affected.
Well, and
or
that's the thing. So who is this representing? Is this representing a tribe that
It's-
is no longer around? Who is this representing?
the
Exactly.
question, because-
It's New York State stepping in and saying, we're just
And if it
putting this
doesn't
law
say-
out there. It's
Yeah.
blanket for everything. We're not going to ask. We're just going to do it.
They had
Wow.
one guy, and probably that guy that was on the thing, that screamed the loudest, and he's like, "Well, I'm Native American." Yeah, but you're not even from here. Like,
And I'm going to ask
Yeah.
the question. It is New York. Honestly, we know that there's nothing corrupt that goes on within the state of New York.
Nope.
New York is
Clean as a
great.
whistle.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah. So just saying
Washington Commanders
the
and
Commanders
Cleveland
now, and see, and
Guardians.
there's where exactly the
Cleveland Guardians.
So
Like
the Reds,
Guardians of the Galaxy?
the Redskins were obviously, that was something that was very gray, if not a little bit offensive.
I sort of get that.
So I mean, the Redskins were one
Oh,
thing
the
that
same state that elected AOC.
But on the other hand, I mean, the Blackhawks had nothing. There was nothing that was detrimental to the name. So the Blackhawks are keeping their name, and they basically told everybody, hey, all you white people that have a problem with it,
But shut up.
good luck.
Yeah.
We talked to our Native
We're
American
good.
people, and they're good. But on the other hand, you look at, so I knew a school district where they were called the Injuns. And they had a problem with this. And they had a problem with this a long time ago, back when
Right.
we were still in Chicago.
What about the Cleveland Indians?
So, but these
Say
were
next.
these were the Injuns.
Oh.
That's with an
So
accent.
it's a
You're fine.
slang.
But it is
It's a slang
slang.
of Indian. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, God love them. I mean, side note, when they sit there and they went out to the community and they said, all right, we're going to have to come up with a new name. And one person actually said, how about ENGINES?
There you go.
And I
There you
was
go.
so disappointed that the school board did not take that.
That's cool. Tribute before the game and gives you history of the tribes. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
Take that 5 seconds and do it.
All right, any more questions?
They're all the
Yep.
ones that are next.
Yeah, and
though,
Kansas
Christine.
City basically said, yeah, hey, stick
No.
it. We are not changing.
Yeah,
it.
F
Good.
off.
But
And that-
again, you have to have people stand up. Like if they came down to it and you had each school board say, no, we're not doing it, how far are they going to get?
Well, and it goes to prove same thing with Bud Light versus
Get involved.
People are going to, I mean,
Get
if you
involved.
stand
The
up
power
and
of
say
the
no,
purse. Now Bud Light is caving because of the fact that
oh, they lost a ton of money.
allegedly they say $6 billion. Now
I
Not that impressive. I
I'm
wish
going to
it-
question $6
I wish
billion.
it had a one
within-
in front of it.
I'm going to question $6 billion within a week and a half.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But on
say
the other
no.
hand, did they lose possibly millions? Yeah, I'm going to say there's a
Yeah.
good chance that there was
Oh,
several
yeah.
millions that are easily just
6
sitting on
months
it.
from now, you can throw out a number, but a couple of weeks after
Yeah.
the fact,
I'm not.
Unless there's
B is
a
hard
bunch
to-
of people that had recurring orders like bars and stuff, and they just
billion
Cut me
with a B though.
I mean, we're seeing.
I wish America was actually that
Yeah.
ballsy. I doubt it, but
That's the problem. We keep doubling down on stupid,
well,
and we got to start sticking together and start having a louder voice than the others.
So I
we'll
hope
see.
it really was that much, but I
we'll,
doubt it.
we'll see what happens. So, those that don't know, and this is something that's coming up in the news segment, is that Bud Light released a new commercial over the weekend. So they brought the Clydesdales back.
You mean
They
it
got-
wasn't the one? At
No,
the
it
beginning?
wasn't that one, but it's similar into
That one's still
Okay.
playing, though.
into the
so
early
gonna-
one, not the Mulvaney one.
365 days of being a
So-
woman.
Only saw 12. So I mean,
Yeah.
Good
but
for them.
They are literally, yeah. I mean, and then
Yeah.
we're hearing all sorts of stories about that, and we're seeing videos on YouTube of distributors that are unable to move their product.
Well,
off
that's
of
what I'm saying. Is it a bunch of bars that are like, no, I'm good, I don't want any more?
That's what it
Because
is,
if you
and they're
had
telling-
tons of that, that could be
Well,
a
you,
lot.
you talk about power of the purse, right? That's what
Right.
you mentioned.
Absolutely.
That's our job as
the
Americans. We
pocket.
got to stop supporting these corporations that are doing this shit, that are going
Absolutely.
woke, and we got to
Oh,
stop buying their
absolutely.
product.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing.
I mean,
Come
my
on.
favorite story is, who's the Mexican beans?
Oh, Goya.
Goya.
They are
yes.
so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
so but I mean,
cookies are
AOC made
amazing.
them
because
famous.
but because the president of Goya went and received a medal from Trump, and AOC wanted to sit there, and she said, looking for,
Right.
basically something along the line of looking for a replacement for Goya, and wanted to boycott Goya, and then they turned
Because
around
she
and they
eats
had
Goya all the time.
well, because of the fact that just because the president went, he got asked by the
Trust
White
me, it
House,
didn't hurt him.
would you show up and you get a medal
Right, right.
or an award or something, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
You're gonna
And
say
she wanted-
yes.
And she wanted him to be. She wanted the whole product to be boycotted.
Didn't work so well.
No, because it ended up. God love the
Killed him.
She was employee of the year, right?
Yeah, the Goya president. Not only did they have their best year ever back in 2019, he also named AOC and sent her an award for being salesperson of the year.
Salesperson of the year.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, your thing's not up there for the news either.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Dun, dun,
I just noticed that. But I want to.
Technical difficulties.
While you're pulling that up, I do want to say that I was reading a lot of Facebook comments over the last couple of days, especially on the whole Budweiser thing. And it's funny to hear the other side because a lot of them are saying, well, we don't understand what the big deal is. It's just a picture on a beer can. And then you sit there and you go, well, what about Aunt Jemima? What about Uncle Ben? What
Right.
about all
It was
that?
just a
Where they're
picture of the box.
taking them off.
Right.
That have always been
That's a
there.
very good
Bud
point.
Light
And it's
has-
just a picture on a box.
right. Bud Light has never used a picture on their cans, have they?
I think they do them like the John Wayne one.
do
They do them every
sporadically,
once
they
in a
do,
while,
yeah.
but not
Okay.
often. It'll be like a thing.
Like a special.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the part that really just kind of like did it for me was when the VP of marketing, and we had her
Oh, the
her
lady.
clip last week.
Last week, yeah.
And
Yes.
literally she goes, I wanted something that represented both men and women, and something
Yeah,
that's
And everybody who drinks Bud Light.
yes.
That was a big miss.
And it's like, nope, that doesn't
Not even
represent me.
close.
No, that doesn't.
Nope.
And the thing is, hey, if you want to go and that's your demographic that you're going to chase after, go right ahead. All
Good
more
luck
power
to
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, hey, I'm not going to buy it because I'm not that demographic.
Right. Right. And that's a big base to piss off.
Yeah. And I'm
absolutely.
like, have you gone to any little corner bar and looked at who's drinking your Bud Light? Because
Oh,
that's
we were
probably
doing it.
who
We
you
were
want
doing it at Walmart.
He was the biggest drinker since I've known you. You've been
I
a
love
huge Bud Light
even
fan.
Bud Light Platinum.
So I like my Bud Light Platinum, but
That
apparently
Bud Light
nobody
it
else
makes
likes
it
it.
special. I think we still have a 6-pack for you
I
downstairs,
think we
Sean.
do.
You should take it home. Take it to North Carolina with you.
Unfortunately, I am no longer drinking Bud Light or any products of
So I can go shoot it.
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Sure.
Oh, I hate
Go
taking
for
glass out there though.
because Bud
We'll
Light
have to
does
put
not
it on a
represent
box.
me as a demographic.
Should we show that video?
Yeah, show my video.
So Lindsay and I went out shooting on Saturday,
We
specifically
had some Bud
to
Light left over
shoot
from the
some Bud
wedding.
Light.
You know what you should have done was a side by side with Kid Rock and you.
Right? That
Oh,
would've been
he's
fun.
way better than I am. Mine was not that dramatic.
So you'll see the regular video, then you'll see it slowed down. You'll see it at half speed. So here it is. Lindsay shooting the Bud Light can.
Pew, pew.
It's one shot.
Yeah, it spewed.
No,
No, you did hit the
think
bottom. I hit the
hit
bottom
the bottom one, maybe because it clicked through.
Maybe.
Because it hit the
was
can,
a 22.
exploded the top
so.
one, and then it went through. Maybe, but I think I shot the bottom one, and it was already spewing.
Okay.
Because I remember shooting one, and it must have gone like right through, and he's all pee, all slow and dramatic, like
How was that again?
Tell the producers next time they need to actually like film that in 4K or at least 60 frames a second.
Oh.
Yeah, we did that with the phone at like.
That was a spur of the
Well,
moment.
the phone does do 4K and or 60 frames a
Yes,
second,
it
just
does.
so you know.
I was shooting.
Next time, tell the producers.
The producer doesn't get me involved.
Oh, there's more. I thought there was more than one. I know. And the
Atlanta
producer does
Braves
nothing
fans-
for you, too.
Atlanta Brave fans still do the chop.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Don't know what that means.
Well, we can't
Never-
see anything because,
Oh.
Well, they can.
I got hairy
they can.
legs.
All right, we ready for news of the week?
we're ready for the news of the
Okay,
week.
bring on the news.
You do know that comes through on the recording, too.
When she's
all
does it? I don't know why it comes through choppy on
I
it.
don't know. We're going to have to talk to the producers about
Yeah,
that.
he didn't let nobody be involved.
All right, April 19th, 2023.
The
Hope
end
you
of an
filed your
era.
taxes yesterday.
Something about goodbyes. I'm not sure what
Oh,
this
you know, it's
is.
so funny. So I literally got something in the mail for my taxes yesterday, and I was like, oh,
So what wait, we did it a month ago.
from work. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Whoops. See.
Whoops.
About a month and a half too late. Good job.
All right, headlines. So did you see this? Washington State passes a bill that they say they can now take away your children.
I saw that. I saw that.
Fucking take them.
That
Okay.
was crazy.
What? You're going to have to explain the parameters of that.
So Washington State has the House. It's not been passed by the governor yet,
Okay.
but says that if a
Sorry, I'm reading
child runs away, a runaway child claims that they're being
Beaten.
Mistreated?
no
Abused.
abused is close. I was going to say, basically
Mistreated.
they feel that they want to.
You're oppressing them.
They're being oppressed. Thank you. That's the word.
is
I was
that a
looking
good
for.
word?
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
word. That they're being oppressed by their parents because of the fact that they feel that little,
I'm not a girl.
little Johnny wants to be little Sally, and little
Right.
Sally
Yeah.
wants to be little Johnny. That the state will
shit don't
just the
fly.
state will actually just hide you from your parents, and give you not give you back to your parents, but will actually give you your
Emancipation? What?
That is so wrong on
Oh
so many
my
levels.
God.
Tell me that's not fucked up.
Please. I really wish I had
I mean, I'm
children and
hearing-
I lived in there and they would
I'm
do that.
watching the
Please
news.
do that to one of these kids, to
So
these
this
American
happened-
people, and just watch it implode.
I'm
This
so
happened
glad
either
I have no
yesterday
young
or Monday.
kids.
What the actual hell?
And conservatives are basically telling conservative parents within Washington
Move.
State, you need to move. You need to get out. You
move.
need
Oh,
to-
absolutely.
Do not give another dollar to this state. They are willing to
Take your children and give them sex
hide
changes.
your children from you and give them a sex change on their own.
Leave
How
the
can they?
kids
How
alone.
can they even do that when you're under 18? You're not emancipated.
You can be emancipated
Why
at
do
14.
you not
But that's
have
what I'm
a?
saying.
We need
How
we need like a
how
ship spelling.
can you
Right.
do that?
Ding, ding.
You can't even vote until you're 18. So how can you make some sort of decision?
Not even that.
A life-altering decision. Life-altering.
How can you have a surgery? You can't even go into a hospital and have a broken pinky and go in for surgery without your parents being there to
Right.
sign off on it.
Right.
How is somebody going to take your kid and do surgery on them without your parents knowing?
Exactly. There's so much wrong on so many different levels.
So hold on.
Okay.
So in Washington State, you're still not old enough to drink until you're 21.
Right.
Exactly.
You're still not old enough to smoke until you're 18. You're still not old enough to drive until you're 16. But you can get
I'm an 8-year-old and I ran away
and you can get
A sex
life-altering
change.
surgery
without your parents' consent. Who
without your parents even knowing where you're at.
who medically is going to do that surgery and not have their license taken away?
So
Well, obviously the state is protecting those
But
doctors.
that kid's going to come back out and that surgery's still going to be done before then and those parents are going to go after him. How are you going to... Oh,
that's the thing.
It's going to get good.
Well, I bet you if they take your kid, you're surrendering your rights to your kid, right? Isn't that kind of how
They took
that's
him,
the way
though.
that's the way they're presenting it is they're saving the children.
Yeah.
But even in a CPS case, you still have to sign off on it.
There's
you
going to be
can't
so much fallout on this.
Oh, it's
geez.
going to be good.
That's just, we're going down a dangerous.
Move out of Washington.
It's
Just
a very
catch it on
slippery
fire.
slope.
So I mean, it's funny. So
Burn it off.
It was a relatively slow news week up until today,
Oh, yeah, the shit kind of hit the fan today for everybody.
and then 2 news stories hit late in the day, and I was already done with the newsletter and did not have time. It was one of those days to add these 2 news stories. So one, Project Veritas actually recorded a doctor, I want to say, I think in Washington State, that was willing to give, admitted on tape, look it up if you want to see it, willing to admit on tape that they are more than happy to give puberty blockers to a child as young as 8.
What?
Leave the kids alone, please.
That is so bad for their health. How is a doctor signing off on
Documented
that?
multiple times that this is bad for their health.
That screws up so
8
many other
years
things.
old. Puberty blockers as
They
young
don't know
as
what's best
8
for them.
years old.
Let them, you know what? Let them be kids. Let them, let's encourage them to embrace who they were born as first before we start doing anything else. And once they hit 25, if they feel differently, then go for it.
Did Pfizer buy Washington?
Oh my God.
Right.
So did you see this next story? I couldn't even write it. I couldn't even possibly write it.
That's why I was skipping ahead when you were reading.
I
the other
couldn't even write it. The UN says now that
So all the UN or some parts of the UN?
the UN as
The
an
United
organization,
Nations.
the United Nations as an organization
whole.
now says that word
Sex with minors.
is okay.
I'll say it.
Is okay.
Is good to go.
But this goes.
What is our age of that?
And they want to
What
de-
is
and they want
minor?
to decriminalize that across the country, across the world.
I'm gonna rile everybody up here.
We have a lot of perverts that are obviously in leadership positions, and
we already
need,
know that.
Well, we know that.
and we
with
need to get
Epstein's
them
Island,
out.
I mean,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Know that.
This is my question. Because I'm going to take it to another level, and I know you guys are going to get really mad, but it's not me, it's a question.
Okay.
So sex with minors, like a man wants to have sex with a 17-year-old?
Do you think so?
A man wants to have sex with a 13-year-old? 10, 8,
So
6 months?
I remember-
What is a minor?
I remember reading a story.
Anything under 18.
So
Technically, yes, but there's an actual legal term that I want to say 14 is above 14 is called something, even though everybody commonly
it's like
calls
adolescent or something.
Everybody commonly calls it pedophilia, but pedophilia
like
is
14
is like 14 and under technically or legally
Yeah.
or something like that.
However,
and
yeah.
14 to 17 is something else.
It's like adolescentism
remember-
or something. It is different. So like
Is it,
14,
is it an underage minor or something? Or they
something
don't
like
call
that.
it,
But
or-
it's
Either
broken
way, it's
into,
wrong.
It's
Oh, yeah,
broken
yeah,
into
yeah.
pieces.
I mean, we're breaking it down into semantics.
Age of
and
consent.
either
there
way,
you go. But
it's-
what's age of consent? You can convince
17
an 8-year-old to
is
say
age of
yes.
consent, I think, though. I think 17 is age of
the
consent.
UN
'cause
is
it-
basically calling for all
You can have sex with anything.
underage laws to go away.
Right.
It's time for all
Okay.
underage laws to go away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am so
I still
glad-
remember my first 6-month-old that had issues with that. Yep.
I am so glad I have
Okay.
no young kids because I'd probably be in jail.
Oh, easily. 100%.
So, which brings me to our third story.
Okay.
So the president has vowed that he will veto the females first in sports bill.
So, in other words, a male who wants to pretend to be a male, it's okay.
Going back to our meme of just
Okay.
hit trans mode, you can't do that.
So what is he doing?
So Congress has come up with a bill that says, and has passed on in both the House and Senate, that says that we're going to protect female sports from trans athletes
Right.
competing and dominating.
Well, yeah.
And the president says, not on my watch.
Of course not. He wants to get those, you know,
Well,
18-year-old boys
let's make
in
it
with
clear.
the 12-year-old females.
He has nothing to do with it. Let's make that perfectly clear.
He has from.
Do
do you
people
wanna
not
call it?
understand biology?
But from the
No,
perspective
they
of
don't.
he is the guy that's going to sit there and sign
Everything.
the veto.
He's just trying to do it for votes. I mean, this is all
He
about
doesn't even
votes.
know what he's doing.
Well,
They say sign here, and he goes, oh.
No, you're absolutely right, Christine. People are purposely trying to mess up our younger generation.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I am so glad I don't have young kids, but I have grandkids. We have grandkids, and it's like it's so infuriating.
What did Dan say? Biden's a poser?
If that's what you want to read it, yeah.
That's what I thought I read. That's what I thought I read.
Oh wait, hold on. We have a blowjobs 26.
What?
What? Hey, hey.
Oh no, they're screwed up enough. Don't worry about that.
Then why are they doing it if they're not trying to mess up a younger generation? That's
Yeah.
what I'll ask.
So Brian says
Wow.
grandkids, and I was like, "Yep, that's why it's fucked up."
Nope, 100%. So,
So they're truly trying to make Keith. So I'm in weightlifting. Let's say
I'm loving
let's
where
say,
this is
let's
going
say I'm in
already.
weightlifting. I'm
Okay.
in the female wrestling team in high school.
I can already see the sweat
I'm gonna
beads
have
on
to.
Keith's forehead.
I'm gonna have to wrestle.
Listening.
I'm gonna have to wrestle Keith to win. You think
Yes.
I'm gonna win?
No, you're not. That's the whole point. Men and women,
Are not built the
their
same.
physiques are different. They are built different. Period.
Yep.
End of dis- I
So
mean,
are we
that
not
is
teaching
biology.
science anymore?
It's all
'Cause
about
I'm
the
not
science.
Sure. Oh no. Yeah. So was COVID. Sorry.
And again, you know, some people don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I mean, like the COVID cultivator. It's a tool that you buy at Home Depot.
But I used to watch videos of her.
Oh, it actually is.
I used to
It
watch.
actually is.
I used to watch videos of her taking a sign and putting it up outside her congressional office in D.C. and that would say, "There's only two genders.
I remember that. Yeah.
Follow the science."
Yep.
And she used to get it taken down once a week.
And I'd put it right back
She
up.
would go right back, and she had another one sitting in her
Yep.
office, and
She
she'd put it right back
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
I mean, other than the ones that get born once in a great while, I don't know what the percentage is where
It's
they
very slim.
right they get born with that are
Have
born
both.
with both genders. That's not we all know that's not normal.
No.
You're either one or the other.
And they're 99% of that slim chance, one is more dominant, and that's usually the one they leave. So it'll be either the vagina is fully developed and you have like a tail of a penis over the top, or you have
Or vice versa.
you have the vagina lips on top and then a full penis and balls. It's whatever's more dominant. So you had that little bit of a hormone that decided to start to make that, but then your body, chose the other
Right,
one.
yeah.
So the doctors usually just clean it up, make it look pretty. I've never, again, don't know. Not
All right,
saying
I've-
never.
I've been drinking.
I've
I
never
will
heard
ad-
of cases where there's been two full sets.
That's true. It is called hermaphroditism.
But all of a
Yeah.
sudden,
Yes.
Lindsay is putting, visuals in my head. I never thought
Right.
when I woke up this morning, I never thought I would have.
that's
Like
a
a
whole.
ball sack
That's a
with
whole
the little
different
lips on
YouTube
the
channel.
back.
That's just,
So sorry.
That's a whole different show right there, man.
Oh boy.
So
I feel like we've been off-roading a little bit.
So,
little bit.
21-year-old Air Force Guardiansman's
Guards,
the
guardsman.
leaker.
So, okay,
Like,
I have questions
you dribble?
on this.
I
you
don't
have
get-
questions? Raise your hand.
I have questions.
Nobody raising their hand now.
So, for one, is a 21-year-old is he going to be entrusted with such sensitive
Yes.
information? Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I say that because the
You
statistic
could be on
I
your
heard.
fourth year.
The
Like, you could be
statistic.
high up, right?
No,
On your fourth year?
no.
No.
He was only in enlisted level 3, so an E3. So
Okay. Congratulations.
and I say this because of the fact that the statistic I heard today was that there are 3 million people within the military that have a secret clearance or higher. there's about a 1.2 million people that have a top secret or higher. Now, I say this as having been, I want to say that I was somewhere around 21, 22 years old when I got my top secret security clearance. So, I mean, literally, another funny side story. The FBI literally went to my neighbor's house, knocked on the door, talked to the mom of my best friend, and said, "I'm here to talk to you about John Phelan. We're with the FBI." And she goes,
And the mom was like, "Oh shit."
She's like, "Oh dear Lord,
Did
what
you
did
pick
he
him up?
do?" She told me this afterwards. She's like, "Oh my God, what did he do?" And
Is
they're
my
like,
son with
we're
him?
We're just doing a background check. Oh,
okay, we're good. That's
much better.
He's a great
whole
child.
different
questions you got?
story.
He's a great child.
Now, on the flip side, as a 21, 22-year-old who had top secret security clearance, I had been through all sorts of background checks, as I explained. They talked to friends and neighbors. I did all sorts of psychological evals, blah, blah, blah. And then on top of it, there are general rules, protocols that you deal with where not one person is ever left alone. Now, granted, this was way before top secret stuff was, this was back when top secret stuff was in folders.
Yeah.
It wasn't on
Right.
computers.
Right.
And
Or
so
chips or
back in
anything,
the
yeah.
day, top secret stuff was not ever entrusted to one person. It was always a two-person rule.
Yeah.
So, two people had to be around it at all times, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm not sure how it works on a computer nowadays, but on the other hand, there's certain things that it's like, how did he take the top secret material? Because one, it looks like this is all from the pictures I've seen. This is top secret material that was in paper form. So now whether he printed it off and then took a picture of it, because it does not look like he took his phone and took a picture of the
Like he
screen
scanned it.
type thing. It looks like he printed it off and then took a picture of it.
On the counter?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It's that crude. Literally, snap. Okay, there we go.
People
Take-
still do that instead of scanning it?
apparently, and
Okay.
so and this
He's
is
21,
these are the pictures that I'm being shown that I'm seeing on the news. And the question is, so where did this break down? And we were on, just talking a little while ago before the show started about how I got an encrypted Office 365
Yes.
email where I couldn't print it, I couldn't forward it, I couldn't
Nope.
do
You couldn't-
nothing.
You can
Yeah.
view it and that's it.
Yeah.
And so, the technology is there.
You just have to know how
Where
to get there.
did, and trust
How
me,
did this kid get it?
This is first and foremost. This is the kid who did it should be prosecuted forever. On the second note, part of me wants to say in the back of my head, is this kid getting scapegoated?
Right.
Because also
Did they give him-
there
And that was
was
my, and that's,
Is that like the 19-year-old that you just conveniently leave the bottle of whiskey on
right.
the
I mean,
counter?
well, or is it
Take the
even more?
bait.
Is it even more heinous where this kid is just he had no idea what he
was
I mean,
doing.
well, I'm not even saying that. Did he do nothing? Was this? I'm going to go back to what was we had Wahlberg. We had a meme with Mark Wahlberg on it. What was the shooter
Yeah, shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shooter.
Yep.
where somebody's getting framed for
yes.
something
Yep.
Yeah.
That
to
was a good
cover
movie,
somebody
too.
else's tracks.
Yep.
There's part of me that sits there and screams in the back of my head, this kid's getting framed for something he had nothing to do.
Yep.
They found that he was a kid that was a gamer, went on this site. Oh, guess what? There's Russian people on this site
Oh,
too, which
now we've got
which
you.
not a big surprise. And then, hey, we're going to plant some stuff and we're going to put it in his name and he's going to go to jail and we're going to get off.
He's going to have no
scot-free.
clue.
So what was leaked?
So it was all a bunch of information about forces within Ukraine. So the biggest thing that's probably the most damning is they say allegedly that there might be special forces, U.S. special forces already on the ground in Ukraine.
I thought we already knew that.
No.
No. Totally should not be there. Totally should not be there.
I thought we
there
already
have
had
been
people going
testimony
there.
within Congress.
No,
that
we were giving money to them, but we didn't have
We didn't
our
have-
own.
we didn't
I thought we already had
and
boots on the
defensive
ground.
defensive arms. We have testimony on Capitol Hill and from the president that says that we are not putting boots on the ground.
Yeah, just like
and
the
we are
president
not
said
giving
he's not in on
and
it.
we are not giving offensive weapons. Guess what? Boots on the ground is an offensive weapon.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, therein lies part of the issue in the fact that now all of a sudden somebody is going to be at best held in contempt of Congress, at worst is perjured themselves and is
Okay.
going to jail. So,
I still
but on
see
the
a
other
lot of
hand,
people.
but on the other hand,
him.
if you got a 21-year-old kid that has no idea about how life works, and
No
he's just
clue about anything.
he's just a gamer. He's a National Guardsman. He's not even a full-time
Right,
soldier.
Right.
Yeah.
Not even a full-time.
He's going to
Air
find
Force.
out really quick.
Yeah, he's not even full-time
Poor
Air Force.
thing.
Because I mean, there's a lot of questions that are not being answered as to why does
I feel bad for him.
the
I don't.
message, you know,
He
'cause-
probably had nothing to do with it. He's being framed, poor guy.
If he's being framed, that's one thing. But if he's just being
An asshat, yeah.
Welcome to the
no,
regime.
if he's
But
being
see-
dumb, common sense dumb. Sorry, I ain't
I
got
don't feel
nothing
bad
for
you
you.
for that. But
this is troop movements. This is basically status of where the war stands, and these are what they called compartmentalized secrets.
Documents.
So it's above top secret.
Yeah.
So one, how did the kid get it? If this is compartment only stuff,
Where
he
did he
shouldn't have
get it
had
from?
access to it. Two, he's National Guard. He's not full-time Air Force.
so he wouldn't
He
have
should
this
not have
crazy.
gotten it. Second, and then third, why does the Massachusetts National Guard have access to this in the first place when this should be just barely making it out of the Pentagon or the White House?
Yeah. How did it end up in Massachusetts?
How did it? Well, you know, how did Massachusetts have access to it? Whether it's just through a computer or whatever.
Yeah.
So those are the three key things that keep popping in my head. To keep going. This just doesn't
feel
make
right.
sense.
Okay.
Doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
And fair enough. I mean, because we've seen these before where things just don't make sense, and it's just one of those things that don't make sense.
What's that old
Specifically
song?
with this
Things-
administration.
Well, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
one of those things that just make you go,
Yes, there's a lot of things that make you go.
Yes, I'm drinking Santan.
I was gonna say, do you
Mama
see
Cats.
Mama Cats?
Yes.
They
I had
some
one
this
earlier.
weekend.
Did you like it? It wasn't bad, right?
Yeah, I could drink it.
Yeah, it's not, and it's supposed to be an IPA.
I mean, I can probably drink
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
well, only because they maybe
Don't
couldn't
ask
find
me to
another
drink a
category to
second.
put it in.
Yeah, like
That's
it's
true,
not
too.
hoppy. Yeah.
It's
Because
like
it's a hazy.
What do we call this? You know, let's not forget these are a bunch of beer drinkers.
That's true.
Let's call it an IPA. Who cares?
It works. It's a hazy IPA.
It's a hazy.
Why not? Because it sounds good.
it's like the Four Peaks with peach. I can have one, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Well,
After
what's
that,
the one
it's
I
like,
like? The IPA that I like?
The Pebblehead?
Pebblehead. That's delicious. Shut up,
John does not like that one.
Hate that.
You want to know what?
You
Highways
don't
are
like-
racist again.
Out of all the Santans, that is the worst.
It's delicious.
Highways are racist again? Okay,
Highways are
that's good.
racist again.
What?
Your favorite
Yeah.
Department of Transportation Secretary.
Mayorkas?
Buttigieg?
Oh, Buttigieg? Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, how is he doing with our train issue?
That's
I mean, I
long
know he
gone.
likes, long, hard things, but how's he doing with our train situation? Is that cleaned up? I haven't heard anything about it.
This is why we don't tell you.
Is it good? Seriously.
In Ohio
Yeah.
or in Montana or in
No, in Ohio.
Pennsylvania or
There's
No,
been a
because
lot
that's
of
the one
train
that's big on
derailments.
fire,
There's been a
though,
lot of
with all the
train
chemicals
derailments.
and stuff.
the one in Ohio.
Yeah.
They've been taking away the soil, and they've been burying it somewhere else, which makes a whole lot
That
of
sounds
sense.
brilliant.
That's,
Good
you know,
job, Buttigieg.
This is again why we want to
Let's
give.
spread the disease.
This is why we want to give the federal government total control.
Right?
Oh
100%.
This is
But
how
that's what they
fix it.
do. I mean, even
This
the
is how they
environmental
fix it.
companies, that's what they do.
No, they
just
usually
bury
catch it on fire
No,
and then
they-
clean it, and
No,
then
they bury it. I was
Just like
married to
everything
someone in
else.
the
I'm
industry.
surprised it's not put into the ocean.
Yeah, but don't they take it to
ship
like
it to sea.
bumfuck Nevada or something and dump it off instead
Not
of, you know-
necessarily.
Where was that at again?
There,
Not
there's
quite,
usually
not quite that
Hey,
far.
that's
Not
what
quite that
Buttigieg would have picked.
Yeah.
Not quite that far
Not
from
quite
where
that
we're
far.
at right now.
Yeah.
Where do you think it goes?
No, they have specialized.
Florence.
It goes to Arizona, some of it.
Oh, seriously?
Where would it
I'm
go? Where would it go? in
Fucking, where does
Arizona?
Buttigieg live?
Not
Washington,
here.
D.C.
Oh, seriously?
Where would it go here? The only place I could think would be
It's being spread amongst several different
Anywhere up
waste
north, anywhere
sites,
down south.
But one of them is Arizona.
Why would it not be?
Usually it's these. I don't
Not North Carolina though.
shots fired.
Shut up.
wow. That just happened.
Yep. Okay.
Let's mark the time on this one. 8:00
Yep.
on the 19th.
On the nose. This is when the relationship ended.
Arizona daylight savings time.
Right.
We just got divorced.
So he sat there and he said on one of the Sunday programs again that highways are racist.
How so?
Same thing that he
Why?
reiterated.
Why is everyone following and just saying, "Oh yeah"?
Does anybody know the true meaning of racism? I don't
No,
know.
they don't.
I think we've lost that.
It's a word that is just used to be.
Please tell us,
knocked
Mr.
around.
Webster.
How can you assign a term to an inanimate object?
This A is racist.
That's my point.
I'm sorry.
It's very pointy.
I think you're wrong. The B is.
You're going
the
down.
B looks like Booty Buttigieg.
Yes.
I'm not even sure what.
Oh, I just thought of something super inappropriate. I'm not going to say it.
Shocker.
Mark the time.
I'll tell you what. I
8:01.
I would not want to be inside your brain.
No, it's really, yeah.
I would really not want to be inside your brain.
messy.
It's like a 12-year-old boy.
It is messy,
Drunk.
messy.
Wow.
That's what's in my brain. It was funny.
I just-
You'd have liked it. It was funny.
It just makes me wonder. We just throw this term racist around like it's.
Nobody knows the
you
true
wanna know what I
meaning
am
anymore.
Truly looking up what the definition.
I
of
think John
racist
is too.
Yeah. Nobody knows what the true meaning is. It's just a good word to throw around because
It's
everyone
scary.
is like, ooh,
It's the
you
go-to.
said- You said
It's-
the R word.
Racist Mario.
it's the
What?
trigger-
Why
it's
is
the trigger
Mario
word, right?
racist?
Exactly. They don't understand what it truly means.
I'm about to go down a.
Okay.
Why is Mario racist? I just bought Mario Brothers.
What?
Wow.
Mario is racist.
It's a mustache.
Racist definitions. I mean, that offends me, but you know.
I thought
Characterized by showing prejudice, discriminations, or antagonism against a person or people on the bias of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group.
So that
Typically one that is a minority or marginalized.
So that definition apparently has changed a little bit because
But that's an objective, not a noun.
okay.
The noun is a person who is prejudiced against,
Prejudiced.
prejudiced against,
Prejudiced.
prejudiced against, or antagonistic towards people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. What are you listening to?
Well, welcome to your husband,
So-
Christine, for joining the show.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I was trying to see if I could find the Benny Hill theme song, but
And I think so many people have prejudice
The Benny Hill
and
song.
racism.
You're judging somebody based on the
Mixed
color
up.
of their skin or based on their religious affiliation or something like that. That
Okay,
is
so-
considered.
So I thought racism was action towards that, whereas a prejudice was just
A thought.
exactly.
Ooh, I don't know.
So prejudice is when you think something, and racism is when you act it out.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I always thought the difference was.
So, like,
But
if I call you a dumbass,
But the legal-
that's different than thinking if you're a dumbass.
Dumb.
I mean, dumbass doesn't really go with the car, with the color. Wow, that is some redneck bullshit right there.
it's actually British.
Woo!
You never saw Benny Hill?
I don't know what that is.
Some of the funniest shit ever.
Oh my God, you don't even.
What is
you
Benny
like
Hill?
you like Mr. Bean?
No.
Really?
God, he's fucking retarded.
We just
Do you like?
we just
Mrs.
got
Brown-
divorced.
Do you like?
Oh, did we just get divorced?
Do you like Mrs.
It
Brown
slaps.
Boys?
Oh, Mrs. Brown boys are funny as shit.
Hilarious.
I don't know what that is.
Yes.
You have got
Hilarious.
to look it up on YouTube. Mrs. Brown's
Forget
Is
Boys.
it
Yes.
similar to Mr. Bean?
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
it's funny shit.
1,000 times funnier.
Yes, you
Is
got to
it
look it up.
slapstick?
Anyone, look up Mrs. Brown Boys.
Is that the hot dog son?
It sounds like it, right? Oh my god.
We gotta get back on track.
I don't want to.
I
I don't
know,
want
right?
to. I don't want to lead the witness, but all I'm going to say is look up Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Yes, it's funny
Oh,
shit.
It's
funny
an
as shit.
Irish.
It's
It's
funny shit.
Irish.
Funny as shit.
It's an Irish sitcom.
I mean, I do like the Irish.
It's. I mean, the premise is it's a comedian. It's an Irish comedian who is probably, I don't know, in his 50s or something like that, who plays an 80-something-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
And it is hysterical. They
I
come
want to say,
up with
I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, it was plastered all over Facebook.
There are
They had
so many
episodes of it.
inappropriate.
Oh, that bitch is
Yes.
hilarious. You gotta,
Irish-
love, you gotta love the
Irish
British for that.
sitcom is hysterical, and on top of it, they drop an F-bomb about every third
Woo!
word.
I might like it.
Oh my God! Do not make it a drinking.
What's
game.
up, Super Horror
Hey,
Show?
Mike, how you doing?
Thanks for jumping on.
Hi there.
Watching to see if YouTube cuts his feed after that. It
I
could
ain't nothing
happen.
to do with it.
It could
I've
happen.
been totally good.
All right, so did you see?
BMAC has a question.
Oh,
What's the
okay.
question?
Jesse Helms, maybe not a question. Oh, yes, question. Jesse Helms was the HMFIC of the Defense Committee for a lot of years. You think those defense contractors in New York didn't bury stuff there?
Right? Oh, absolutely.
I love
mean, people in
BMAC.
cement are fine.
You know, it's funny because BMAC's acronyms, if you don't know BMAC, you wouldn't understand them. But when you know
yes.
him, it's like you
Yeah.
just see it.
HMFIC, head motherfucker in charge.
Yep.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
See? If you- it's great.
What was that? BFRs and big.
Oh, so BMAC is a mining engineer, so he makes LFR.
Shut up.
No, he makes LFRs out of BFRs.
That's
Think
right.
about it.
Long range farts out of back.
Little fucking rocks out of big fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's good. You bang them together?
All right. So
sorry.
have we ever got to do the gist of that?
Sorry, Buddha Judge.
Highways are racist again? Do we know why they're racist again?
No,
He's
we don't know
claiming
why they're
some BS
racist to
about the
begin
fact
with.
that because highways were put through poor neighborhoods.
And moving on. So next. Fucking A.
So the highway on the
Seriously?
way to New Mexico that goes near
Right.
nothing.
Right.
Not that
Is racist?
Okay, not that particular one, but we're gonna go
Like I-80 through Chicago.
exactly. And
That's the first one that pops in
But
my
is
head.
that okay? So like the 202 that they built, the South 202, when they looped it around, right, which is one of our freeways here, went through commercial places.
Yep.
They paid people a ton of money to build these highways.
yeah, but
So
let's
they don't always have to pay tons of money.
no.
Well, they paid one of our
So the way it works,
So like in Illinois, around the Chicagoland area, what was it? I-94 and there's
But
several.
was the highway built through that?
Yes.
Or was the
No.
neighborhood there
No,
and
the
it was already shitty?
The neighborhood was there. It was already shitty. The highway is literally a bridge going through the neighborhood
Over the
the neighborhood. So if in a good
But what does that have to? Why didn't the freeway just have to go there? What does that have to do with the
he's
neighborhood?
making shit up.
Fucking
He's
Buddha
he's
Judge.
cherry picking certain things to be able to prove his point.
That's what I said.
But on
and
the
I
other
get
hand,
that. I get that.
But
But
on the other
they're
hand, you look at say Peatone, where a town in, the south suburbs of Chicago,
in BFE,
Where-
bumfuck Egypt.
they built I-57, and this you can pick thousands of examples, right?
True. Yeah.
But they gone and they built the highway next to the town, immediately next to the town, because they don't build highways usually out in the middle of nowhere. They usually follow
somewhere.
a road
Something.
that's been highly used.
Unless you're building the
And
24,
so
then you
they
just
end up
draw a line.
They end up, kind of cutting the community. Everything that was west of the town is essentially cut off from the highway for the east, for the regular part of town, for the heart of town, if
Yeah.
you want to call it that. And so this creates a problem because now the towns, small towns, don't typically, and even large towns don't necessarily think ahead a lot because of the fact that they don't put all the infrastructure that goes under a highway to be able to get to the other side so they can grow. And so therein lies where you might have depressed areas because they don't have, the secrets for, and I will say that unfortunately I do have a little bit of a real estate development background. One of the things that are key to real estate development is water and sewer.
Right.
So you got to have water and sewer to be able to build, to be able to prosper. So the problem is the fact that when you're cut off from that, or it becomes expressively very prohibitive because it's expensive, then you don't necessarily grow in that direction. So anything that does grow there is because it's significantly cheaper, and that's where it becomes cheaper neighborhoods, and that's where it becomes depressed neighborhoods, and that's where it becomes blah, 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 right? And so you get all that kind of stuff. And that's the way it works. That's the way the economy works. So he's cherry picking to be able to say this, 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 and this, and using these examples to be able to prove his point.
Yeah.
Honey, you took
Highways
6 months off when you didn't have a baby. I don't want to hear about it.
Highways aren't racist, but did they use these poor areas to be able to put a highway through? Yes. Does that constitute it being racist? No.
That has nothing to do with the physical highway.
And you're right. And because I will say
it was, are they
poor planning?
Poor planning, or no? They were planning.
Wait.
They were using the planning, but they were using it in the poor areas. They were taking advantage of the poor. And I'll go. I would go that.
But sometimes
that
it's a geographic necessity, though.
Yeah.
Depending on the state that you live
But
in, right?
see, even some of these poor, so when you go, and the only place where this is quote unquote racist, because like you said, I-10 going through New Mexico, who cares, right?
gives a
Well,
shit?
and the 24,
the vast
not
majority
going
of
through
it is
anything.
nothing.
The 202 to 303 that they all just built.
But on the other
Didn't
hand, when you're
hurt
talking
anybody.
about
within an inner city where you
I-80,
have all
I-94,
these.
I-294 through the south side of Chicago and northwest Indiana, the thing is, a lot of these communities actually welcomed the highways because they saw
Gave
it
them
as
access.
Business opportunities.
a business opportunity.
Absolutely.
Because
Gives
guess
you
what?
access.
They
Let's
can
go.
put
You had people coming into your area if you
Whether
had
they're
the ro-
driving through, whether they're stopping at your Circle K, whether they're stopping to have lunch.
It's a fact.
These are people that weren't going to be there.
Absolutely, it's a fact of the economy and the way that things work. In the fact that if you have an interchange, and you can put gas stations and car dealerships, and you can put a Walmart,
An
and you can
automotive
put
place,
a
somebody
Target,
gets a flat
and things like that,
tire.
and all these, and hotels and all these things happen off of an interchange, which is what happens, right? This is the way it works.
there was
But on the other hand,
opportunity.
if you don't, as a town council or a planning commission or whatever the case may be, and you don't plan for that and hold out, and you say the first, we're gonna go extreme. The first nude bar that shows up and says, "Hey, I want to put on this corner," go right ahead.
Right.
We're going to get the revenue from that.
Yeah, you're
and
making
then
money.
guess
Do
what?
whatever you want.
You're building that reputation on that corner.
Exactly.
Instead of saying
Instead of having
we're holding
a
out,
hotel.
we're going to go and we're going to court
Or-
Walmart, and we're going to try and see if we can get a Sam's
Or Home
Club put
Depot.
here.
Or
Home Depot or whatever. And we're going to go and we're going to court and we're going to hold out this and we're going to zone this specifically because guess what? Every one of these towns has the ability to zone
Instead
their
of
own
Buttigieg
product.
coming in and saying,
And they say, we're going to hold this out for a big box. And it has to be a big box. It can only be a big box.
Yeah.
Right.
absolutely.
But the sad part is, and granted, we're going back to Chicago because we
know so much.
We know so much. We understand the area. We've lived there for a long time before moving here. A lot
Well,
of
that's
these,
kind of a good example.
right, and a lot. The unfortunate part is a lot of the areas that these highways did go through to offer this opportunity to be able to grow and to offer that. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
No. And it
It's-
could have been because the city wasn't holding out
It was
for
mismanaged.
It was mismanaged, in which it became an area that people knew not to get off
Not
the
to stop on.
expressway
Yeah.
because you know what?
You might not get back on.
Yeah.
Like Compton and Watts.
Is that
Well, and I want to leave it on this note.
But again, is that something that has to do with the highway or has to do with that city and that zoning?
Has to do with
Exactly.
that
It's
city
not
and
the
that zone.
highway.
It has nothing. Yeah.
It's the
Right,
town and
right.
how they handled it. And
I mean, a
what they've done
great
since
example is if you ever driven to Vegas, you go through the town of Wickiup, right, which is in the middle of nowhere. The freeway goes right by Wickiup.
absolutely.
Every store in that town's packed with tourists and visitors
Going
And,
through,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a
Is
great,
that the one we
great
turn
thing for
off that
them.
you go up?
Almost, yeah.
Because what's
yeah.
that one where you have to turn off the freeway and then go up to get to Vegas?
Towards Kingman.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of
when
up
you
in
turn
there,
and go
and
up.
it's
It's before you hit
500
Kingman.
gas stations and subways and
Poor planning.
Wendy's and
And you
everything
can't
else.
sit there and
But
you-
every single one is packed. Like all the gas stations are all the same, but you have to go 8 up because
There's
the
only
first
2
5
gas
are.
stations.
But the thing is,
Shut up! There's like 4 on each side.
But the thing is, you can't blame the planning because guess what? The planning is done by the people that were elected by the voters, just like the same people that are sitting there and saying the highways are racist.
Right.
Yep.
Amen. I like that.
And
I
thank
like
you,
that.
Buttigieg.
If I had a
All
ding,
right.
I'd give you a ding.
Ding.
Don't have a ding.
All right. So sweet Biden deals are now expanding in house.
Excuse me?
Sweet Biden deals?
What?
We talking ice cream?
So
I'm
now
good.
there's
I
don't
so
need
him sniffing
short
me.
version of the story is when you do something that a bank finds questionable.
Okay.
So we've known. So it's been this way for a couple decades. $10,000 is the trigger that a
Yeah.
bank will
Gets
trigger.
mad.
Okay, yeah.
The $10,000 the bank is required to tell the IRS
That you got
something's
10,000
going on.
bucks, yeah.
Yes.
And so there's an actual, and I'm all of a sudden drawing a blank on what it's called, but it's a suspicious
Activity or something.
activity report. Suspicious activity report that they're required to give to the IRS. So apparently, banks
They start hooking, don't
banks
put
that are
10,000
around
in
the
at a
Biden
time.
family have been giving thousands of SARs over the last handful of years. And so now that the House Judiciary Committee has, or the Banking Committee, one or the other, now has their hands on these SARs, they're finding that it's not just this many people. They're finding that it's this many people. And they're saying that the amounts of money are staggering.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
They're saying that Biden Inc. is impossibly rich and that the payoffs coming from foreign governments is amazing.
Could they
going
start with
from,
China?
Yes, going from foreign governments into personal bank accounts.
So, and I want to see that. I want
Now you're exactly right. The first
I
thing that
want
I
to
thought
see
of
that.
is this.
I mean, because anyone can say anything. I want to see the proof.
I want to see those records.
They're
Exactly.
saying that they're saying that this. I mean, because no doubt we heard the exact same thing on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Everything
Oh, yeah.
flipped before, and Trump was getting Russian money. Blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah.
We heard all of this. But on
I
the
want to
other
see
hand-
the proof, and
I
I
wanna
don't
see,
care
but
who is in office.
But
Give
they're
me the
literally
proof.
saying that everybody within the Biden family, out to like cousins and stuff,
Second
are
cousins and
just
third
getting-
cousins and- I'm
so
sure.
we'll wait and see. So all I'm saying is,
I hope we actually
let's
see
keep
it.
an eye on
But
this.
why would
Don't
we?
lose track of it. Well, you two don't lose track of it.
Why you're doing
And,
the newsletter?
You're funny.
It's cute, right?
And then we already talked about Bud Light.
So BMAX says taxpayers buy roads, cheaper land, eminent domain purchases are better for the taxpayers and the road users. Cheaper land in rundown areas or in areas of $1 million houses.
Yep.
And that
Absolutely.
is exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
So
And
for
that's what
those-
it is. It's all about economics, unfortunately, because it costs more to put it through an expensive neighborhood than a rundown neighborhood. It's not that the highway is racist. It's all about economics.
It's all about
Well,
them dollar bills.
And the thing is, I mean, if you go through, let's look at it. So eminent domain is the legal ability for them to take your property. Now, they have to pay you for fair market value.
Yep.
But on the other hand, they also have to pay through the expenses of going through the legal battle.
Yep.
So now if they sit there and they say, all right, so you have $1 million home and you have a $50,000 home, and they're going to sit there and they're going to say, all right, we can either
we
go
gonna
through
buy out?
we can pay the legal battle and go for the $1 million home, or we can divert and go a mile to the south or north or east
Yeah,
or west
east
or
or
whatever,
west.
and we can pay you $75,000 for your $50,000 house.
Thanks, bye.
Ding,
Well,
which
and-
is a lot easier.
Yep.
And that's
Exactly.
holding them financially responsible to be within a particular budget instead of just saying, "Oh, we have
Do
a
whatever
blank
you
check.
want."
Let's just do
Right.
whatever."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not
It
that
is
the
what it
highway
is,
is
sorry.
racist; it's they're just doing what
What the
economically-
government should
Right.
be doing and not just writing blank checks.
exactly.
So I made this.
So sorry.
I made this newsletter just as short, if not shorter than last week's, and it's still we're running.
And
I was
we're
gonna
still
say,
running late.
8:19.
It's what time?
Well,
8:19.
didn't we warn
It's
people we were going
8:19?
It's
Didn't we warn
8:19.
people we were going over tonight?
Did we?
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
remember that.
not
Did
even
we
gonna
warn?
happen.
I don't remember that warning.
I believe we said that last week.
Oh,
I think there was a disclaimer.
There
in
was a
there.
disclaimer.
Yes.
so did you see that
May
the
go
first
over.
gas stove ban flamed out?
That's awesome.
I was waiting for him to come.
That
to
was
the
in
house.
Good job.
California.
Really?
The court
Yes.
said, nope.
Nope.
What?
Ain't happening here. Move along.
In California? Wow, that's impressive.
I know
Right?
that's pretty
I
surprising.
know.
So a couple officers from the, we've covered this in the past, of the CCP police stations within New York got arrested.
Ah.
Oh, our China guys.
Yeah, and so
Good.
they're saying that they're starting
Ship
to
their
uncover
asses
that they're
back.
not just a Chinese police station in New York. There's actually like 6 now in the country.
Jesus Christ.
Why did we allow this? They don't
Happened-
belong
I think
here.
it happened under a lot of people's noses.
Right,
No,
it did.
it happened in plain sight, and everyone turned
And everybody shoved
turned a
their
blind
hands.
I
eye
don't
to
know.
it.
I don't know.
Nothing to see here. It's okay.
What did they do? Do you walk around like you beat cop? What are you doing?
They're spying on their own people.
They're spying on their own people, or they're spying on
So are you in like the
Ex-
China hood?
ex-China dissidents or ex-China citizens who are now dissidents, Chinese people that have finally escaped, claimed asylum, whatever, and now they're U.S. citizens, and they're still getting harassed by Chinese police.
Yes.
Isn't spying illegal?
Yes.
So you're a Chinese police officer in Arizona. Let's
New
just
York
say
City.
New York City,
San
and you're
Francisco.
harassing. Well, San Francisco, they're not going to shoot you. You're harassing a Chinese person,
Yep.
but you're not a police officer to me.
Correct.
Doesn't matter. They're a police officer to the Chinese Communist Party.
Awesome. Get the fuck back in China.
The thing
I don't
is,
give a shit what you're
That
doing
seems
in New
pretty
York.
simple, doesn't it?
yeah. The thing is, we allowed it.
We allowed it.
We
So
knew
what
it.
happens when
we
that
knew about
American,
it and we allowed it?
When that American citizen calls 911 and has the police show up and say, this human who has no police status in this country is harassing me.
Even-
Are they just another
like
person?
the
Like,
fact-
do you put them in jail?
Even more important question: if we go to war with China, they
already
not
fucking
become
here.
enemies?
Yes.
They would, because they're not part of America.
Just
This
ask.
goes back to what we talked about before, where
Rabbit hole, insert footnote.
Chinese people are getting precedence from the, or special treatment from the cartels and the coyotes that are bringing them across the border. Things that make you go, Side note, I got a side question. I have a question.
Exactly.
Yes,
Dad.
John. What's your question?
Why is it that the most blind person on this show is the one that takes a look at the comments?
Who, me?
No, are you the
Keith?
most blind person
Oh,
on
no,
the show?
not at all.
Keith?
Yeah,
You?
I haven't seen anything pop up in the last 5 minutes.
There's not a whole lot going on.
There's not a
Christine
whole lot
says,
going
on. Oh,
Miss
really?
Brown
Okay,
boys are
all right.
actually an award. What the hell are people supposed to travel from city to city without highways?
I was going to say,
Completely
I know
nuts. We've done that a few
Mama
times.
Cats has been
Disgusting.
drinking. Mama Cats has been drinking, and Dan is all fired up. How can we not have
a
comments?
CCP officer in Arizona would last about
I've been
a
putting
day.
comments up. I don't know if you've seen them now.
Apparently, he hasn't.
Nope.
I like how you referred to me as the most blind person on the show.
The
That's good,
same
though.
thing was
I know,
happening.
right?
Brian says the same thing was happening in 1980 to the Iranian students here in the United States. When the crap hit the fan in Tehran, students were very concerned here.
Tehran, Iran.
Could be Iran.
No, Tehran,
Tehran, Iran.
is the name of the city.
His name is-
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where the-
Oh God.
All right, so let's switch to AI for a second.
Okay. Bad AI.
Oh shit! Why is she even bracing? I thought we unplugged her.
Hold on.
Mama Cat saying things that cannot be posted.
So the Google,
I am sure.
Google CEO
You go,
says,
Andrea.
says
She's over there
brace,
probably
Yes.
texting me right now.
Brace for impact.
brace for impact because of AI.
Yeah.
Musk
word.
is developing the Truth GPT,
Oh, Jesus.
and I thought
Generic pre-trained transformer.
generative pre-trained transformer is what GPT stands for, because I figured Lindsay was going to ask the question.
What?
Was that? GPT? What? Say that again.
Stands for generative pre-trained transformer.
Which means, in
That's-
layman's terms,
that's
It is
AI.
a generative
Okay.
pre-trained
'Cause you know
transformer.
there was Chat GPT.
Oh!
Now Musk wants to develop
Gotcha.
Truth GPT.
Did we not learn that this is bad?
apparently
Joe-
people keep wanting to go down that rabbit hole.
So Joe Rogan
Have we
has
not watched
issued a
these
warning.
movies?
I want you to know about this because I haven't seen this episode.
Oh God!
It's not a Joe Rogan episode.
Oh, it's not?
No. Joe Rogan has issued a warning because there is now a AI synthesized Joe Rogan experience out there.
Oh, that's right. You told
What?
me about this.
Yes.
What?
Joe Rogan is like, oh my God, there's actually an AI synthesized Joe Rogan experience that he found on the internet.
What the?
Yeah.
How do you even do that?
So apparently the president of
Someone had nothing better to do.
Well, you want to know who this person was? The president of Chat GPT.
Are you serious?
Told the AI, do an interview with me as if you were Joe Rogan. Yep.
Well, that's interesting.
That-
So is it a video? Is it just words? Like
I
what the-
haven't looked it up, but I just saying.
I don't want to look it up because I
Joe
don't want to
Rogan.
open that
Joe
window.
Rogan.
But
I mean, that's part of it is I don't want to give it the traffic.
no, you don't.
But
need
on
to
the
send
other
me.
hand, Joe Rogan is saying this
is bad.
is bad.
That's scary on so many levels.
Right?
So many levels.
Because now all of a sudden you have what,
Where's my tinfoil hat?
Oh my
It's
God.
right there.
It's-
It's right there.
This,
It's right
seriously.
there.
No. But this
Because
seriously.
this now all of a sudden becomes where does the number one leading podcast get differentiated truth from fiction? And now all of a sudden you could
And
have
especially- that's
Joe
what I'm saying,
Rogan,
is it just-
quote unquote, talking to millions, hundreds of millions,
right.
and saying,
Well, and he's
"Oh,
always
I think
been
that this is this
He's
guy for
always kind of
president is the
been
next
both
best
sides.
thing." Or,
He's never been one or the other. He's kind of been straight, you know.
But now all of a sudden you have an AI that says, everybody thinking it's Joe Rogan going, well, this should be who I would pick for next president. Or here's where here's what I think about, I don't think there's anything wrong with letting AI run our lives. And I don't think there's anything wrong
It's
with,
totally fine.
with the
Nothing bad has
Chinese letting
happened.
have police stations with the United States.
Oh, yeah,
And
my hat goes this way.
Now, this was just audio, right? This wasn't like.
'Cause
I don't
like-
know.
This
I'm
wasn't
afraid
video.
to look because, again,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
want to give
saying,
it any
like, could it-
traffic.
Holy
Could it
shit.
be the video? Because essentially, if you're videoing one side as Joe Rogan, they're never in the same
But the
screen
point
together.
is,
if he can,
Joe
mimic
Rogan,
him,
the personality, is saying this is a problem.
Yeah.
yeah, you
You
just
think?
copied me.
I mean, shit. Anybody can say. They can make anybody say anything they want them to say.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Biden could be a fucking.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Granted, part of me thinks that an AI Biden might be better.
Maybe you might actually be able to understand him instead of.
Right?
Wow.
Everything.
We're not going to go lick the world.
Or sniff the
Saw that
world.
video.
Did he lick people?
He said in Ireland, let's go,
So
let's go lick the world. You look like you're getting your hair done.
Right?
I was getting my hairs did.
Oh shit! It is.
So,
Chris.
like,
Oh, that's
what?
such a throwback to the 70s.
It is a big problem, Christine. It's
That's insane. Because how do
scary
we know
shit.
anything is anything then?
Right. That is.
I mean,
scary.
And again, if you haven't seen the...
Oh, it's giving me goosebumps and making me mad. all at
I
the
said
same
this
time.
last week. So if you haven't seen the Dan Bongino from, I'm going to guess, Tuesday of last week.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Either
yeah.
Monday or Tuesday. I think Tuesday of last week.
I think it was.
Where he talks about AI. I would recommend it because there are so many things that make you sit there and go, this is where, I mean, at best, this is where things could go wrong. At worst, this is where, all
We're
of a sudden,
done.
hey, turn on the first 10 minutes of Terminator 2.
Right. And I look at Joe Rogan.
Turn on the
I think
last 20 minutes.
I have a lot of respect
iRobot.
for Joe Rogan. Not Joe Rogan, Dan Bongino. Well, Joe Rogan too. I like Joe Rogan. But I think Dan Bongino, he's very level-headed. I think he's just a good all-around guy. But for him to get nervous the way he got nervous on that episode kind of makes you think, okay, maybe, maybe there's some validity to this.
I watched this episode and I actually texted it to Keith right away and I said, all right, you're going to have to look at this. And he's like, holy shit.
Not good. Yeah.
So
I'll leave that there. It needs to be close.
all right, so our favorite governor.
Buttigieg.
Nope, governor.
Oh, DeSantis. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Buttigieg is not a governor.
He's a transportation.
Yes.
Is
Oh,
joking.
I thought you were going to say
So
another
he's
word.
been joking.
I'm so sorry.
He's been joking for the last couple of days that he's going to put a prison up just outside the Magic
For
Kingdom.
Disney.
Well, Disney is what they lost all their special privileges and everything, right?
Yes,
so
they
they got to
did.
be like a real thing again.
Yes,
Does that
You're
really
going to have to pay taxes and all
Yes, they
that
will.
fun stuff. They don't have all these special breaks.
No.
Does that really say Oregon approves magic?
Oregon approves magic.
Magic Mike?
What?
Close. You were so close.
Oh, am I?
Oh boy,
Magic mushrooms.
Ooh. Well, they already have fentanyl.
Okay.
they're already fucked up with that. It doesn't matter.
So what does that matter?
So
Magic mushrooms, at least.
Smoke them if you got them.
they are now approving that they are. So they have been doing a 2-year study because they approved them back in 2020, and they're completing their.
Dosage.
Do they come in
Instead?
gummy form?
No, they actually
they're
come
gonna be
in
like dried
mushroom-
in
They look like
tea
dried up.
and-
Yeah, they
yeah.
look like dried up little squiggly things. They look like that banana you found in the. Wendy was unpacking a backpack last week or 2 weeks ago and found this little shriveled black thing that apparently used to be a banana that we had
Yes.
in this backpack.
Banana peel.
No, it was a
the
full
banana.
banana. It was completely dried.
Oh,
it
my
didn't
God.
mush
Was it,
out
like,
or
thicker?
anything.
Was
I
it-
pulled it out intact. It was like a
it, like-
shrunken head.
Oh my god!
I was like, I am amazed that this
It
backpack
didn't
is.
just like.
Not full of
Yeah.
maggots or nothing.
Yes.
That's crazy.
All right, who's in for the quiz of the week?
Okay.
We all are.
We all are. Yeah.
I was talking more about online.
Who's
in for the
in?
Who's in for the quiz of the week? So
Who wants
a
to
couple-
play?
We got a couple political cartoons. We got the transgender procedures here. Go ahead, kid. Your parents will never know.
What the hell?
Elon Musk predicts artificial intelligence may lead to the end of civilization as we know it. And she goes, promise? This is what I was thinking of. I thought I had said that to you, but actually it was here.
Oh.
But because you got the guy with the beard going into the women's bathroom with the little girl. And then your usual Bud Light. Nope, thanks. I'm transitioning to Coors. That's me. I am doing Coors from now on.
Drink local. Support your local brewery.
Yes.
Well, John
All
does
right.
plenty of that.
That's a
too.
better idea. Support local.
Quiz of the week.
Quiz of the week.
Okay.
All right, so this
Andrew
one
and
is
Arthur in.
it's going to seem like it's mostly states, but it actually is a bunch of topics that we've covered
Ooh,
previously on the
CG
show.
in movies
Oh,
is the early versions of AI.
Actually, that's not not
Okay,
bad.
Brian,
Yeah, that's true.
That's not too far off.
That's true. Yep.
So interesting stats.
Okay.
Hmm.
Stats.
So these are a bunch of different subjects that pertain to things that we've talked about in the show in the past, without any of the topics that have gotten us kicked off.
Okay.
So, Lindsay's on.
Oh, ooh,
Yes.
Christine's husband's gonna guess for the quiz of the week this week.
All right, we're in.
No
All
telling
right.
him, Christine.
All right.
No telling
Nice.
him.
Nice.
All right. 10 questions. Question number 1.
All right.
What state is losing the most population in 2023? New York, California, Illinois, or Minnesota?
Is it what we want?
What state, statistically, is losing the most population in 2023? New York, California, Illinois, or Minnesota?
How do we know that?
What
2023
state is
just
losing
started.
the most population currently in 2023? What state is
That's a
losing?
hard one because, I mean, the top three are
I know.
What do you mean? These are all very
true. Yeah. That's
got
why it's like,
ABC,
it's
I'll go
hard.
B.
Pick one. It's
I got a B, an A, and a C. What do we got online? I have a B.
Mama's a
B.
And a B.
Andrea's a B. Arthur's a B.
Waiting on Christine.
Christine.
Waiting
her
on
husband.
Christine.
B-Mac. I don't know how far behind Rumble is. But let's do it. Christine says
Christine got an
A.
A.
Christine's husband. What was his name again?
Christine's husband.
Christine's husband.
I think Bill. Let's call him
Could have
Bill.
been.
Bill.
Christine, what's your husband's name?
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever
Oh.
officially been
No, we haven't.
introduced.
What do you think?
Wasn't there an old song that's like,
Oh,
Bill,
I thought
I love you so, I always will.
Okay, good.
Isn't
I
it
thought, I
Bill?
thought you were having an aneurysm over
Right? I don't know what the hell
Isn't it
she's
Bill?
doing.
It's an old school song. I remember
All right,
that.
are we
It's on our
ready?
show.
All right, what's the answer?
B-Mac
New
says
York,
Cali.
And I was going to pick New York.
Question number 2.
Really?
Wow, don't look at me
What
like
state is growing the most in 2023? Texas, Florida, Idaho, or South Carolina?
No, I'm not putting South Carolina.
No,
We're not moving to South Carolina.
I'm not putting South Carolina. It's too close to you.
No, it's one
Texas,
of these two.
Florida, Idaho, or South Carolina. You
Bill.
can only pick one.
Jay. His name is Jay.
that. Oh, hi, Jay.
Hi,
Although,
Jay.
you know what? Idaho's building quite a bit too.
Idaho.
Texas,
I can
Florida,
only go to
Idaho,
Idaho
or
if I
South
get a
Carolina.
Idaho,
what
Idaho.
state is
Professional.
growing the most in 2023?
Idaho, United Idaho.
I think
I have
it's
an A, a B, and a C
I'm an
here
A,
in the
Red.
studio. I've got
Andrea
an
and Arthur
A
say
and
A
a
and
B.
A.
I got an A and an A at
B-Mac
home
doesn't say nothing yet.
and a B.
Christine says B.
Christine says B.
All right, and our
It's not
answer
Christine, it's
is
Jay.
Florida.
Oh, Florida, really? Wow.
What's no good?
Question number 3.
Yeah, I'm
What
2 for
is
2.
considered the most red state? Red
Probably
by,
Wyoming.
and so the definition of red is the
Not blue.
number of right-leaning people voted into their government. Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah, it does.
What?
The number of
So if you were
right-leaning
right-leaning
in the government.
in the government, mostly not even the governor, technically. So
I
like
don't know.
Arizona as a prime example, because it's not on here, and so Arizona is a +3, a Republican +3.
No, it's not.
That's what they say.
Bullshit.
I'm gonna differ in where everybody else is saying. I'm gonna go Texas.
So Texas, Florida, Wyoming, or Arkansas.
So Mama Cats and Arthur say C. Christine says A.
Ryan says Arkansas.
I got a D and an A and a C here in the studio. Are we ready?
That seems
Yep.
pretty rednecking, so I'm gonna go.
Wyoming.
Well, I was
Wow.
gonna. I had C up there too. Dang
And
it.
so Texas is an R+15, Florida R+3, Wyoming is an R+26.
Wow.
And Arkansas is an R+16.
Wow,
So
Arkansas-
we're moving to
higher,
Wyoming.
yeah.
Where's Wyoming? Is it snow there?
Right? It's not
Yes,
what
it
you
does.
would have thought.
Oh, I'm good then.
But
Yeah, that's surprising.
all right, so now taking that
He
result.
said it snows there.
Taking that result.
That result.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
Now lock question 3 in your mind.
Okay.
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 Question number 4. What state has the most corruption? New York, Illinois, Wyoming, or Vermont? Now, can I be leading you astray?
Probably.
But you're still grabbing that C right away.
Because it doesn't surprise me one little bit.
Could I be telling the truth or could I be?
I don't know.
leading you
Probably
astray?
lying.
I think New York and Illinois run a close race.
I was
don't they?
gonna
I was
say.
gonna say. I'll go.
Illinois
I'm gonna
has
go with
the most governors that have landed in jail.
Amen to that.
I'll go with
So
my
I
home.
go with B.
I'm gonna go with my home
Corruption-
state. You go with your home
corruption
state.
in-
Okay.
Corruption in what? You notice how mine's not up there. Corruption in what definition?
We're going home state.
Corruption as in getting you in
Politics.
jail, or corruption as in
Political
being
corruption.
paid off, or
political
yeah.
corruption as far as politicians being put in jail.
All right. So
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
that would be
Illinois.
B. Yeah.
Mama
Illinois.
Cats and
Yeah.
Arthur both say B. Christine says A.
Brian says New York.
Are we ready?
He says not Trenton County, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Is it really? Oh my God, that's surprising.
Oh, Trenton County.
I
Look at
thought,
that.
I thought you were trying to throw us.
Wyoming.
Holy
Told
shnikes.
you. See, and I just went along with. You're not even in the red. You're in yellow still.
Right? Look at
What
that.
the hell?
Wyoming.
North Dakota?
Man,
What?
Wyoming and Vermont.
Okay,
gonna say
time out. What
Vermont?
happened there? What happened there? Where the wheels
So
fall off?
one of the things that
In
some of the other statistics in here. Guess what state has the lowest voting percentages?
Alaska.
What state do you think beats that as far as lowest voting percentage?
Alaska.
What do you think? What state do you think has a higher percentage of low voter turnout? Or lowest percentage of voter turnout?
Could be a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tons
Yeah.
of them.
It's right there in front of you, folks.
I can't read that.
Blind guy. Let me see.
Yeah.
Have my glasses?
Let's go
Wyoming?
with Wyoming.
All I see is
Oh, I
red.
heard
It
a
doesn't
ding,
tell me
too.
what
Yeah,
it is.
right.
That's,
good.
that's me, Matt, going, come on, really? Wyoming?
Yeah.
He says bullshit.
Ooh, he's throwing
in
the
all
flag
capital
down.
letters.
He's calling
mad
it
now.
out. You did that on purpose, John.
Number 5, what state has the highest voter turnout percentage in 2020? Minnesota, Arizona, Colorado or California? We got a B.
I don't know. Is it real or is it the ones that
Highest
they counted?
voter turnout percentage in 2020.
Again, is it the real ones?
So
or
it
fake
wasn't the
ones we counted?
midterm, it was the
Presidential
last
election,
presidential
because
election.
It was
presidential
presidential.
elections always have higher turnout.
Turnarounds? Yeah, that's
Turnaround.
true.
So
too.
in 2020, which state has the highest voter turnout percentage-wise?
That's
Not
a
number of-
tough one.
Not number of voters, percentage.
of voters that came up.
I don't know.
Mama Cat says C. Or no, Arthur says C. Andrea says D.
I think I'm kind of going with Andrea on this one. I think I'm going with California.
California. We got a B.
Christine,
we got an Arizona
or
and a
Jay says
California.
B.
Wendy's thinking.
B-Max says Colorado. Wow, Rumble's pretty quick.
She's picking up that D. Are we ready? Christine's got a B.
Yeah, you haven't had a D yet.
Minnesota.
Really, Minnesota? Wow, these are tough questions.
Number 6. What state has the highest LGBTQ population per capita? Now, I underline state
Yeah, I'm
because
I'm with
the
Lindsay.
highest in the country was D.C., but
Yeah.
they're not a state.
No.
I'm going
So,
with Lindsay on this
what
one.
state has the highest LGBTQ population per capita? New York, Oregon, California, or Florida?
I don't know why Oregon just feels like they're going
Wow,
batshit
Andrea and Arthur are
crazy up
totally
there.
different. We got California for Arthur,
It's
New York for Andrea.
Are we ready?
You're saying California? Okay.
I'm gonna say California.
We didn't hear
but
from
New
Christine
York
yet.
is
Yeah,
kind of
wait
like
for Christine. Couple seconds.
B-Max,
Jay.
not yet.
Couple seconds. Lives are at stake. Couple seconds.
buildings are burning.
Buildings are, people are, oh my God.
They're slower for some reason. StreamYard's slower.
Oh my goodness.
All the aliens in New Mexico.
All right, go ahead,
Oregon.
go ahead and give the answer.
Oregon.
I thought so. Fucking weirdos.
There we go right there. DC by a bunch
Whew.
because they all are currently employed in DC.
Yep.
And then we have Oregon, Mass, Cali, New York, Vermont, Nevada.
Arizona's kind of high,
Arizona's
Yeah, we
kind of
got a bunch
high.
of crazies.
right? We
Well,
hit the orange.
yeah,
Is that,
Temp-
am I looking at that?
Tempe,
We're like
and,
ready orange.
Tempe and Tucson, you know, so.
Yeah, true. Good point.
And all the ones that came over from California.
All those people from Tucson, right?
All
You
those
just
people
never
in
know.
Tucson.
I know you're not
Number
talking
7.
about anybody.
What is
We
the
know.
happiest state?
Oh, you know, that's Hawaii.
Alaska, North
Oh,
Dakota,
yeah.
or Florida. What is the happiest
It's
Oh, I
actually
know, I'm gonna go.
state?
it's actually not. It's actually
What is the happiest state?
Why did I pick that?
I don't know why you picked that.
If you're not happy in Hawaii, then
That's what,
there's
what?
something
My
wrong.
teasy lives.
Oh, they're not happy.
You
there.
can't
It's
be happy
It's
in
gloomy
Florida?
all the
She's
time.
not happy there.
Can't be
For
happy
other
in
reasons.
Florida?
I was gonna pick Florida first, but I'm going.
You can't be happy in Alaska?
No, fuck no,
Why? There's ice and fish.
no.
They have the highest depression rate, do they not?
Alaska? I don't know. They have sun for
Because
like half the year.
Oregon does.
Because during the
Washington and
winter-
Oregon
Oregon
does.
do, yes.
Washington does.
Well, you got the
Oregon
chop
does.
zone and, you know.
During the winter, it's all like dark.
I don't think I want to pay like $13 for a gallon of milk. So
I got
I
an
don't
A,
think
an A,
that's
an
the
A.
happiest
Everybody's going
thing.
Hawaii on this one.
It is Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't think I'm good. See,
There we
B-Max
go.
with me with Alaska.
Utah is right behind that, then Minnesota.
Did
then
you
North
really say
Utah?
Alaska?
B-Mac did.
Oh,
I said North Dakota. I was going to pick Alaska, though.
All right. question
Utah's
number
right
8.
behind it? Really?
What is the U.S. median age?
oh shit.
Oh. That's a good one. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
What
Right,
is-
that's great.
What is the U.S. median age? 338. 338. I just looked at this.
This is a
today.
shot in the dark.
I think it's 338 million people within the country. What is the median age?
I'm going the highest.
You're going the highest?
Yep.
Nope, because I think a lot of the baby boomers have died off.
Not yet.
Yeah,
A
they're
lot
Now,
of them
keep in
have, though.
mind-
Look at the Rona.
Now-
What
now-
are these numbers from?
Now, keep in mind, 2023.
Okay,
So keep in mind.
post-Rona.
So up until recently,
That'll be different.
the largest demographic was the boomers. And then the Gen Xers
then
were,
the millennials.
The second
Gen,
is the
Gen
next
Xers
one, right?
were about a third less.
Yep.
And then the millennials
boomed
came
up
out, and the
because
millennials
we all got knocked up at 15.
are bigger now than the boomers.
Yep.
And then the Zoomers
Charles,
are
their babies.
the Zoomers are less
half.
than the Zoomers are less than the millennials, but higher than the Gen Xers.
Yep. That's what I'm going to say. It's lower.
So-
I don't think it's quite 28.
So I got a B, a B, a B, a B.
Of course, Dad answers 80.
80. No, Dad.
I like that.
80. No, it is not
That's not
80.
the
It's
median
38.5.
age.
D.
good guess.
I didn't think it was that high still.
We were
I thought
close,
it was lower
Keith.
than that.
And it shows right there. One thing I thought was interesting, Dan, you'll be interested in finding this out, that unfortunately the women at 100 really outpaced the men.
Oh, yeah, no. 100%. So when my grandmother passed away,
Did you pick that by chance?
no. So my grandmother, when she passed away, she was like, protect grandpa. And I said, why? Because there's 20 women probably waiting by the door as soon as I die. And I was like, what? And she said, these women out here are terrible. He had casseroles every day for like 6 months.
I bet.
That looks like
Seriously.
that looks like
bet.
an ink blot test.
Oh, I wasn't going
What
to
do you
say what it
see?
looked like.
I see.
It's an ink block. Yeah.
I see back-to-back Trump. Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Ew, that was funny. His nose and his hair with his lips on the bottom.
Oh, my God. All right. Last two
I was going
questions.
to say it, but I didn't want to. That's hilarious.
Last two questions are country.
Oh, that's funny.
Last two questions are country questions. Out of 88 countries, how many have legalized gay marriage in 2023? 51, 24, 75, or 10. How many have legalized gay marriage as of 2023?
Because we don't know how many have already legalized
Well,
it.
our
No.
country.
As of right now,
'Cause our
how many
country-
total out of 88 countries have legalized gay marriage? Not
Our
just in
country
23.
has not.
So you're talking
Technically
cumulative.
we have
States
Cumulative.
have.
cumulative.
Not just this year.
Yeah, they didn't just make it legal this year.
Like forever.
Overall, out
Up
of
until
88
now.
countries, how many have it legalized as of right now?
There's a pity in the studio.
Heavy Metal says D. Mama Cat says B. Waiting on Christine.
Everyone seems to be on a
B-Max
particular
says
bandwagon.
John's-
Christine's on.
John's making
says
this up.
B. Right. Wow, Christine, you guys went high at 24, huh? Wow.
I don't
All
think
right,
it's that.
are you ready for the answer?
Yeah.
Let's
Guess
do it.
what? It is 24.
Is it really?
Really?
Holy crap.
That's how many countries have legalized. Out of 88 countries, only 24 have legalized gay marriage.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you. There's a pity in the studio.
All right,
sad
you want
to
to
say that.
contrast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 88 countries, how many have made gun ownership illegal? 17.
Illegal?
How many illegal? How many countries in the world have made gun ownership illegal? 17, 75, 49, or 5?
No, I think it's way more than that.
You think so?
Illegal.
Yeah, I know.
Look at how many
Illegal. How many
conspiracy-
countries have made
Not
gun
conspiracy,
ownership
communist countries there are.
illegal?
You
That's
can't have
true.
any guns.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can't go to Africa and have
All
a
right,
gun
I'm
and
gonna
be
go, I'm
like,
gonna go higher than you then.
It's not Price is Right rules.
I don't know if it's 75.
It's not a competition, as John would say.
All right, so we got CB and A here in the studio. What do we got at home? We got
B-Max says A.
This is
I'm not sure
cumulative
if
again, though, right? Not
this
just
is
in the-
overall,
okay.
just not just. I
See, that's what I was thinking. Was
no, as of right now,
Not as of right now.
as
yeah.
of this snapshot in time, how many countries have made gun ownership illegal?
wow, we got A, we got D, we got
Arthur
A.
says A. Christine says D. Mama Cat says A.
Should I-
I'm going to
should
think B-Max says A.
If
but I'm
Christine's
not sure
right, I
which
should
A.
have stayed with my first guess.
Are we
but-
ready?
All right.
But I was thinking differently. Go ahead.
It is not 5.
No.
It is 17.
Okay.
Okay.
There's the countries.
That's less than what I thought. That makes me happy, though.
It's only these few countries out here.
But can you get them? Just because they're not
So now
illegal doesn't
that's
mean
an
you can't
interesting
get
because
them.
as I'm reading it, so like, you know,
Because, like, South Africa,
I think
not
there's
really
some
going to want
missing.
everybody to have guns.
Because Australia,
Ouch. I just Shh.
you
Is
can get guns in Australia.
I thought you couldn't.
Well, there's, like, snakes the size of your house. You
You
better
can get
be
a
able to
you
have
can get a-
guns.
you can get a shotgun in Australia.
Shush.
Okay.
So they talk about like,
Come here.
I'm drawing a blank here.
John
Starts
and
with
Wendy
an
are getting
S.
yelled at because they're leaving by a pity in the studio.
Apparently.
Starts with an S. Black Hawk Down.
A sniper rifle?
Sudan. It's not Sudan.
I
It's
don't know what you're talking about.
You're not paying attention to someone.
You know.
She was giving you the
basically,
evil
like,
eye.
So this country,
Syria? No, not Syria.
no, this country down here on the corner of Africa.
Yeah.
So it is illegal.
Huh.
But they also say that the vast majority of it is ignored and everybody has an AK. But technically on the books, it is illegal to own a
Okay.
gun. So even some of these 17 countries that make it illegal,
Still don't.
it's,
Yeah.
they don't enforce it.
Don't enforce it, yeah.
Yep.
You know, North Korea over here. Now there, I'm
Probably
sure
so.
Sure, I'm gonna bet they
And that's
enforce it.
enforced.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go with yep.
All right, that is it.
That's it?
Look for a CTC short if Keith gets around to it.
Could be Pitties yelling in the studio. Somalia.
Yes.
Could be.
Somalia.
Somalia?
Somalia, there you go.
There you go. Shh. Wow, pities are very,
She's very upset.
Yeah.
very loud tonight, right?
Yeah,
Well, it is
she's
9
very
o'clock.
vocal.
That's true, it is.
Mogadishu. BMAX said, I'm not sure what that means, if that's a soup or something. It's not, Brian. What? What is that?
Mogadishu. It's a soup. Okay.
It's a city.
Shut up. God bless you. What is it?
Right? It's a city.
It's a city where?
In Somalia.
Oh, shit. Seriously? Why do you look at me like that?
You guys are going to miss this.
Yes, we
You know
are.
that, right?
Yes,
you guys
we
are
are.
You're going
gonna
to miss that.
You know,
as well.
it's been what, almost
All I gotta do is
2
go back
years,
and watch this
just
YouTube
short
video.
of 2 years that we started
Every
doing
day.
this.
Yep.
And seeing you guys on a weekly basis, especially when it was during COVID when we started this. Yeah, we are going to miss it. I mean,
And then all the, OEB. My arm is really wet right now.
I bet.
Is that code for
I
something?
was just saying, for people off camera, they're like, what the hell is she doing over there?
Just so you know. Hold on a minute.
What is she doing?
Well, we got
I mean,
we got a German Shepherd over here.
Yes. I mean, it gave us the opportunity to, one, get to know you guys much better by doing this. And, you know, this was stepping, for me personally, it was totally stepping out of my comfort zone.
I remember you were so nervous at the beginning.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit there.
I'm not one to talk in front of people.
Oh, she's in
and-
the studio.
Yep. So, I mean, it's been good. And,
Yes.
you know, I hope once we get settled that, yes, we can
Give it a month at least.
you know, start getting back into it and
Jumping on.
Jump
and-
on and say hi.
Yeah.
At least
I mean, it's not going to be the same because we have this interaction within
Right.
the
Still
studio.
not the
So
same.
it's going to be hard from a distance. So I know it can be done.
So you guys are just going to have to fly down every
well,
Wednesday.
we're gonna definitely participate in the quiz.
Yes.
You're going to have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll keep doing the quiz.
Keith's going, crap, I gotta do a
no,
quiz.
I'll keep doing the quiz.
You want me to do the quiz?
Oh, boy.
So we were talking about, no, we were actually talking about, because how do we do it when it's just us? So we were talking about like one do it for like 1 month and then one do it for the next month.
Okay.
So that the other person doesn't know, but then we need more audience participation. So
Okay.
Well, and we do plan, on being more guest heavy as we go on. So
Okay.
we are planning on
Yeah.
bringing more guests on. I'm sure we'll have Eddie back. I'm sure we'll have Practical Tactical back. We'll have hopefully Americano back on for the first
Yeah.
time. So
Cool.
Andrew and Arthur. So
dang it, Andrea and Arthur, you're going to have to drive up here.
but we are gonna miss you guys a lot.
Sure.
We're definitely going to miss you guys and the audience because you know what? It feels like we've gotten to know you guys as well. I
Right.
mean,
No, so you can't go very
Yeah.
far. You're gonna have to
Right?
meet with Christine.
Danny has not been giving me. I've asked for years to get your phone number, and he will not let me have it.
Didn't I send it to you?
No,
I thought I did.
no. You specifically said no. I'm not going to let you.
Christine said she votes that I can do the quiz.
I'll give it to you. Oh, okay. Wow.
I think we should let Christine do the quiz.
No, that'd be hard. That'd be like super hard. Yeah, then you'd probably see what happens. In
Yeah,
my
but a lot of
brain.
if Lindsay does a quiz, a lot of the answers are going to be hooker, wiener sucker, things like that. I mean, it's
No, because I have to pick ones you wouldn't guess.
true.
You would guess, be like, Buttigieg is such and such as orange is to.
What
Orange.
is? Yeah, it turns into Jeopardy. All of a
Jeopardy.
sudden.
Yeah, exactly. I
want to see one quiz. I'm really
It'd be
curious
so good.
now.
My brain would be, yeah, welcome to Squirrel.
It could happen.
It could.
It could happen. Just
there
for
you go.
fun, it could happen.
I'll be like, pity births are to.
Right, exactly.
Hi, yes, I
Yeah, and I second that with you guys too, because I think the show brought us closer together.
Oh,
As
absolutely.
friends,
Oh, yeah.
because we've done a lot outside the show, but we've done a lot to prepare for the show too together. So it's been a lot of fun. Definitely gonna miss it.
No hooker of the week today. Nobody did anything particularly
Yeah, not tonight.
outstandingly hookerish. Oh, there's a pity in the studio. Look at my old girl. Tita the cutie boy. Oh, Wendy kisses. Oh, I did what a Wendy.
They're gonna miss you guys too, big
Oh
time.
my
Yes.
goodness.
It's funny because we always tease them. We'll say, "John and Wendy are coming." And they'll go right to the door, and they're ready.
They'll sit there and
they're ready
wait.
to
They're
go.
like, oh, John and Wendy.
They love it. So,
They know what time it is.
all right. Well, we wish
Can
you
we show my
guys
pew pew?
all the best
Can we
Thank
show
you.
my pew
Thank
pew?
you.
in your new
Yes.
adventures.
Thank you.
What?
Can you show my pew pew one more time?
Okay, we can show you your pew pew one more
Okay.
time. But Wednesday and I will be back
Next week.
next week. So everybody have a great rest of the week. We'll
I
leave
don't know
you
what we're
with,
going to do next week.
we'll
Thank
leave you
you
with
for
Lindsay
some
shooting.
great memories.
Yes. And more to come. You guys will be
Yes.
back on.
Yeah.
Play our bittersweet goodbye after that, too.
The intro?
Do the pew pew and then do the bittersweet goodbye intro. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, everybody have a great rest of the week. We'll see you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Why don't you go home and